Yo, yo, yo. What's cracking, man? What's cracking, sports world? What's cracking, YouTube, man? All New York City area fans, man. You are now listening to Heart of the City, man, where we go and we talk about the hottest and the latest and the most unpopular topics in New York City area sports, man. I'm your host, Mr. Unpopular Opinion Sports, aka NYG Double Deuce, and I'm here with my co-host, the one and only Mr. Coach Ed Gladney, man. How you doing tonight, Coach, man?
I'm hanging in there. How about you, man?
I'm good money, man. Outside of the football, I'm good money. But we're gonna get into all that, man. But like I always like to do, man, shout out to my chat, man. My main man, Levance, man. What's good, man? Much love and respect to everyone, man. Appreciate you, man, for coming through, man, as always. You know what I'm saying? This is a fan interaction show. So please, when you come through, feel free, man, to chime in, leave your comments, man, and get in on the conversation. So now, as for the agenda, man, we're going to do a little thing I like to call around the city, man. I'm just going to chime in on a couple things, man, before we get in the meat and potatoes of the show. Give everybody a time to come in and, you know, grab a seat, man, and join the chat. Let's do a little of this.
I want the power, but I want the love and respect first. Said I want the power, but I want the love and respect first. Yeah, I want the power, but I want the love and respect first. Yeah, I want the power, the love and respect first.
All right. Let's do a little around the city, man. Get a little music going on, man. Let's get everybody in the mood, man. Let's chop it up, man. Real talk, man. All right. So, as we getting into it, man, the New York Giants go down with a whimper. And not only that, but they get their quarterback hurt in the process, man. Things are in shambles right now with the Giants. We're going to get into that, man, but there is a little bit of hope, possibly. Giants looking at some offensive linemen, bringing in today talking to at least to have a tryout is Lionel Collins, formerly of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know they did sign a guy, Coach, but I want to get your thoughts real quick on Lionel Collins, because I know the most of what we're going to talk about is the BS, but talk to me about Collins real quick.
When he's on par, he's okay. He's a good offensive lineman, serviceable. But I know he deals with a lot of injury issues, so you know there are those concerns there for me. But you know he does have a decent skill set, so he can go out there and be productive, especially in comparison to several of the offensive linemen that the Giants currently have on the roster. So, you know, he can play guard, he can play tackle. I think he's probably a little bit better suited for guard, you know, so from some of the things that I've seen and watched, especially when he was with the Cowboys, but he definitely is better than the tackles that are currently on the Giants roster now.
Absolutely, man. And look, man, the Giants got to do something with this offensive line, man, because it has been a complete utter you know what show. But speaking of offensive linemen, man, we're gonna chop it over and switch it over to the Jets. The New York Jets, man, getting a pretty good win, 31-21 over the Broncos. You know, Sean Peyton was talking that tough talk, and the Jets went out there and punched the Broncos in the mouth, man. And got the job done. But again, in victory, there is a level of defeat, man. A giant, just losing Elijah Vera-Tucker, what is presumably their best offensive lineman. So as we talk about the Giants' offensive line, we also talk about the Jets' offensive line in the same sentence as it has been a struggle. But what did you see from this Jets team, Coach? And do you think they're moving in the right direction?
From everything that I heard is they seem to be a little bit more productive. The defense, of course, we all know what they can do. Offensively, Zach Wilson seemed to, what I was told, play a little bit better, but there were still some of the concerns that have always been there, but it was not the normal Zach Wilson, so he played, a little bit better, so which helped them go on to end up winning the game. So are they headed in the right direction? It's too early to tell right now. You need to see more out of Zach Wilson because that's the only thing holding this team back.
Mm-hmm. And I agree too. Zach Wilson, shout out to him, had a couple decent games, but you already know, man, it's always a disaster around the corner with the Jets, man. Same thing with the Giants, man. New York football, man, it's hurting right now, man. They need somebody to step up. But shout out to the chat, man. Appreciate y'all coming through. NFL Reality Check. What's good? Good evening, boys. Good evening to you, too. Classified 3F with Joe, man. My bro, Joe, man. What's good, Joe? Big Blue Crew. Founder of the Big Blue Crew, man. Classified 3F with Joe, man. Make sure you go sub up to my bro, Joe, man. Link is in the description. D-Dan, what's up? What's up, Shelton, man? BBK, what up? What up with you, boy? What's good, my man? Raphael, El Capitan, what's good, man? What's good with you, Rafi, man? Appreciate you coming through as always, man. Supporting the show, man. Appreciate that, man. Now we're gonna get into Knicks, Nets preseason action. They actually starting up this action right now. Last night, Nets losing to the Lakers, but it's preseason. You know what I'm saying? Not too hyped up about that, man. But what I am hyped up about is my man Cam Thomas putting on a show. You know what I'm saying? So you already know what it is, man. Ben Simmons looking all right, looking a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? So, and you get too excited, but hey, look, the Nets. I'm excited for the Nets, man, because ain't much else giving me excitement in New York City right now, man. But Coach, I know the Knicks was in action too last night, man. Getting a 114-107 win against the Celtics, man. Emmanuel Quickly looking pretty good. So we got Cam Thomas. You guys got Quickly. Are you excited for Emmanuel Quickly this season, man? What's your expectations, man? Particularly for one IQ.
No, I'm not overly excited because I don't have a lot of faith in this team. To be brutally honest, I really don't. And it's not even the players; it comes down to the head coaching. I read a story about Evan Fournier, and please, I understand it's Evan Fournier, but he basically is calling out Tibbs and saying that Tibbs is not giving him a fair opportunity. He is a good basketball player who can play in the NBA. And basically what he says is, Tibbs is pretty much stubborn and stuck in his ways. Now, Tibbs is a defensive-minded coach, so you got to go out there and play defense. So that's still on Evan Fournier. But, a smart coach would utilize your player's skill set and take advantage of your best three-point shooter, even if you just bring him in situations where you need a little kick offensively. So no, I'm not overly. I don't trust the Knicks. I really don't. I don't have a lot of faith in them, and a lot of it stems from. I'm not even going to put it on Julius Randle right now. I'm going to put it primarily on Tibbs. That's where my lack of trust in this team and this organization stems from.
Yeah, look, man, I get it, and I was on Knicks Twitter, man, and some people were saying things about the Knicks, man, that I didn't necessarily agree with, but I ain't really jumping to the conversation because that ain't my team, and I'm not gonna stick up for the Knicks because they don't really deserve to be stuck up for, given what they've given their fans, man, the past 2-3 decades. But what I will say is, man, this team is in a good position, man, to build. You know what I mean? So, regardless of what they do, regardless of whether they stick with Tom Thibodeau or not, I like guys like Quickly. I like guys like Grimes, Pauls, and Brunson, to be pieces for the Knicks, man, moving forward, man. But we're gonna talk about the Knicks and the Nets, man, a little bit later on in the show, man. But appreciate y'all coming through, man. Big fan Breezy in the house. What's good, Breezy, man? I'm gonna throw the link in the chat for my man Breezy, man, because I do want to talk about some basketball, man. Because honestly, the football is so depressing right now. I gotta be honest with you guys. Wells, what's good with you, man? What's good, Wells, man? Appreciate you coming through, man. Always, man. Big Blue Crew in the house, man. What's up? But, Coach, man.
Mm-hmm.
I must say, how is things so bad that in October, we're looking forward to preseason basketball? At least I am.
It is, to be brutally honest, it is hard to really say what it is because, yes, I was very hyped on the team at the beginning of the Giants at the beginning of the season, and I'm a good football coach. I know talent when I see it. All right. And the other factor is other former NFL players that I follow. Carl Banks, Phil Simms, Victor Cruz. I mean, I pretty much follow them all. And we're all perplexed at what we're seeing. We're from last year. Now, look, you can debate the talent. I've even heard the arguments that, last year was a fluke and, they played above and they had, a poor schedule. So they beat up on the teams that they were supposed to. Okay. I can understand the argument. I can even, to a certain extent, accept that argument, that debate, because of the results that we have right now. But still, something is remiss in this organization when you see something to this magnitude. This, to me, goes beyond the talent. I mean, everyone is culpable. The coaching, the player performance, the management, the player identification in terms of I mean, it's just baffling why this team has fallen the way they have fallen. And you can shout out to AK. He was screaming it from the mountaintop. About we're crazy. We don't know. Well, he didn't say we don't know, but that this was a bad team. And yes, we got caught up into the mystique in last year, but that's what fans do. But I still say, as someone who has seen talent throughout the years, I'm perplexed at what I'm seeing right now from the New York Football Giants. I'm utterly perplexed in terms of the talent, the production, I mean, the offensive line. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is difficult to defend. I mean, I understand where people are calling for, Bobby Johnson's head. I get it. I understand the pain, the anguish, the confusion. It's just I get it. I understand everyone's feelings, and it's hard for me to understand why this team has regressed the way that they have, because that's what it is. It's a regression. Players are not
Mm-hmm.
playing with confidence. They lack confidence throughout this whole organization. Daniel Jones, as a defensive coach, that's how I want the opposing quarterback to play. I want to see fear in their eyes,
Mm-hmm.
because you're going to attack them in such a manner that he's going to put the ball in harm's way. He's not going to be productive, and that's what we're getting defensively. I mean, I don't understand the play. I don't understand what I'm seeing sometimes, in terms of concepts. I mean, there are moments when I'm saying to myself, okay, it's headed in the right direction, and then bang, I get smacked in the face with, nah, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. Right.
It's not going there. So it's hard for me to sit here and put into words what New York City is receiving on the football field in terms of the New York Football Giants. Yes, expectations were high. In any sport, you expect to see progression. And even if
Mm-hmm.
they weren't going to be the world beaters, okay, fine. But still, you weren't expecting this. To be lucky to beat Arizona, and that's because you had a second half that, brought you back. But some of that is also Arizona with some of the things that they did,
Mm-hmm.
in
They
the
let
second
up.
half.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's hard for me to really to verbalize what you're seeing out on the football field from a coaching perspective, because it's I would if you're saying you start the season and it was like that, okay, Dallas was the start, but now you're expecting to see some type of progression, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to see some type of
It's like they're
improvement,
getting worse.
and you're exactly. Yes, they had four guards out there trying to play offensive line. You can't do that in the NFL. You might be able to get away with that in some college spectrums, depending on who you're playing, but not the NFL. Not the NFL. You can't do that. You just can't. I mean, Josh Azudo literally was in the locker room after the game crying because he feels he let the team down.
Yeah.
Now, look, you can play bad, you can make your mistakes, whatever the case may be, but when you got play, this ain't high school. This ain't Pop Warner. This is the NFL. Go
Right.
back into the film room, look at what you did, and work to improve yourself. And for a grown man to be crying like that, he's mentally shook. What did Mob Deep
Shook.
call him?
Ain't
The
no
shook
such
ones?
things as halfway crooks. Scared,
Scared to death.
scared to look.
Exactly. And we can sit and joke about it, but no, the truth of the matter is that's what this organization is. They're shook. You even see some of it in Dable. You see
Mhm.
some of it in Dable where he looks totally shook. He looks flabbergasted, and I'm just, I'm just perplexed at what I'm seeing, because I do expect, what, you're professionals, figure it out and get better. I mean, I never coached at the NFL. I've had my issues and my mistakes and so on and so forth and bad games. But you know what? Get my ass beat. I get into the film room, get into practice, and come back and
Right.
work to improve. Look at my players and help to get my players improve on them. I mean, you're not figuring out that everyone in the league has figured out your short game, and they're saying you're afraid to throw deep. Daniel Jones is afraid to throw deep. Why you can't even protect Daniel Jones with maximum protection also? Because I do understand why he should. If the other team is sending a 4-man rush and you're keeping in 7 guys and you can't block them, I mean,
Perplexing, coach. Very perplexing.
now I will say one thing. Everyone's talked about, I guess it's the play Daniel Jones got hurt and it just seemed like everyone got in. I will say this. On the right side, Evan Neal's side, I have questions. They said on Josh Azudu and whatchamacallit, what's his name? Chicken legs, I'll call him. Damn.
Oh,
Glowinski.
Yeah.
Now, they said they didn't pick up a stunt, but if you go back and you look at that play, this is one thing I will say. Now, this is smart defense because number 92 for the Dolphins, what he actually did is he grabbed Glowinski's right shoulder when Glowinski turned to face him because he was widening, so Glowinski had to widen out. And he grabbed his shoulder so he couldn't move to go pick up Chubb, who was blitzing. So I did see that, and I said, well, how come no one is talking about that? Not to excuse the offensive line. But what that says to me is that the officials are saying to you also, you guys got to get your head out your ass, and you got to perform. I'm not giving you no easy walk. You can argue there was no umpire behind the defensive lineman, but the back judge, the umpire, and the referee are in the back, and they're in a position where they can see that. He should have been able to see that. One of them should have been able to see the hole, and that should have been a penalty. But still, the other side, Neal.
You don't get those penalties, coach, because the New York Giants don't get no goddamn respect.
That's my point. And as far as Neal, he started to kick out towards 91, and then he let him go because the 55 was coming up to the line of scrimmage. That's what we call big on big. Bob, however you want to call it, whatever your terminology is. McKeithen was supposed to pick him up. Bredesen got beat off the line of scrimmage. McKeithen had to come down. Neal didn't have to pick him up. The most deadliest threat was 91. He should have stayed with him and at least rode him out, giving Daniel Jones some opportunity. Now, McKeithen, he should have right off the bat, his hand should have been fully extended because you're doing what is a zone technique. So if his hand is out, to at least stem it and give Bredesen the opportunity to recover, because he was even late coming over trying to help out, which is why that guy got into the backfield, Wilkins. Because Wilkins beat, and they had a 2-man slide. So the left side of the line was sliding to the wide side, which was Chubb and 92, I'm sorry. Bredesen, you automatically know that you don't have help there. So you kind of hedge it and force him there and let him go up, protecting your inside. Wilkins knew that, and he knew he was going to slide over that way because they had a 2-man slide going that way. And that's why he beat him to the inside. And McKeithen was late coming over. So it's a sad state. Bobby Johnson, if I'm a nobody, and I'm not a nobody, I'm a smart-ass coach, but if Absolutely. I'm just an average fan, if I'm an average fan and I can see this just from a video clip that someone else is posting on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call the website, then why are you not picking that up? Kafka, why are you not picking that up? Dable, why are you not picking this up? I mean, go ahead, you got it.
What I will say is there is definite some things going on in the Giants organization, and I'm gonna give you my unpopular opinion on that in just 1 second. But D-Dan says the defense is starting to come around. The offense is anemic, but we're missing pieces. That is absolutely true. I do think the defense has played better outside of a couple cats. Xavier McKinney, who I told you guys wasn't the guy at that position, and I don't think the Giants will pay him. We told you that, me and Jeffy T. Last season, we preferred Julian Love, and I still prefer Julian Love over this dude. Let me not go there. But Bacon,
No, go, Dave.
bacon cheddar cheeseburger for supper tonight. Levance, man, always bringing those delicious dinners, man. On vacation this week, gentlemen, went to and got 2 shoulder tattoos. Okay, 1 tattoo on each shoulder. All right, that's what's up, man. What'd you get, man? I tell you, I got a tattoo on my shoulder. It's the only tattoo I got. That's all I'm gonna leave it at that. But nah, man. What I'm seeing out here with the New York Giants, man, I think it's deeper than this. Man, I'm on the Popular Opinion Sports, so you can take what I say for whatever it is. But we have been right on a lot of things on this show, you know, between myself, Coach, Jeffy T, and other people that have been on this show. So definitely pay attention to what I'm about to say. This smells like sabotage to me from the New York Giants. I'm not saying that they intentionally want to put Daniel Jones out there to get hurt or to be hurt. But I think there's some people in that Giants organization that want a new quarterback. And I think the coach and Mike Kafka could be 2 of those people. And what I'm also saying is that there's a lot of evidence pointing to me to where I feel like despite him getting in contract, which I solely put on John Mara, because he basically came out there and told you, I messed this kid up. I want to give him a shot. I don't think Mike Kafka, Joe Shane, and Brian Dable took this job with intentions on keeping Daniel Jones here for a long-term answer. You could see the frustration in Brian Dable's face on the sideline. You could see how they set him up last training camp to make him look, you know, basically worse because they was tipping the plays to Wink Martindale in the defense. Did not pick up his 5th-year option straight out the gate. And to me, it feels like they know they can't win. They know they can't compete with the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, despite what Joe Shane said that they think they closed the gap. They ain't closed shit. That gap is wider than ever. So I definitely think there's some funky stuff going on in this Giants organization. I'm looking at that game with Big Pat, and as soon as Jones came out the game, play calling changed. Darren Waller diving for passes, stuff like that. It's like, does it take your quarterback to get hurt for these guys to start showing some effort? That tells me a lot about how they feel about Daniel Jones, not only in that locker room, but from a coaching standpoint. And you can call me crazy all you want to, but I know that a lot of times, especially with the guys the Giants got in this locker room, these stand-up good guys, they're not going to really voice that type of opinion that they feel about their quarterback. Brian Dable and Mike Kafka want a passing offense. They do not have the offensive line to do that. Your only saving grace outside of building a dominant offensive line is to have a quarterback that can basically make cake out of shit. Excuse my language. You know what I mean? And those quarterbacks are hard to find. But I guarantee you this, Brian Dable and Joe Shane are not going to go down with Daniel Jones. They're going to want to get their guy in here, given, you know, that this season is probably going to be a lost season. So also pay attention to that. Now, nobody wants Daniel Jones to be hurt. I don't want Daniel Jones to be hurt. I'm sure Brian Dable and the New York Giants will want Daniel Jones to be hurt. But him being hurt is an excuse. It is. Same thing with Saquon Barkley. It's an excuse for them to move on and get the people they want in here. So I know I said a lot. I know people are not going to agree with me, and you can come at me all you want to, and I'm not saying that they set Daniel Jones out there to get hurt, but I'm saying you knew the offensive line wasn't going to be good. Brian Daboll left, and I said this, man, in that Dallas Cowboys game. I said, why is Daniel Jones still out there? There was people in the media saying it. Why are you leaving this guy out here in blowouts to get murdered, basically, behind that offensive line? You gave this guy $162 million. Why is he out here getting lambasted in a 40-0 game? I don't give a damn what you thought. Or you knew in the back of your mind there's no coming back from this. From a game standpoint, why is he still out there? It's little stuff like that that makes me think they just setting this dude up to be a tackling dummy until they can get an offensive line and then bring their quarterback in here. And I'm just going to straight up say it. It smells real fishy to me. I don't care what anybody say. That's how I feel, and that's my unpopular opinion. Go ahead, man. Y'all got it.
That's how you feel. I don't agree with you, but I respect your opinion.
I know. I know you don't.
So, I mean, I just say this, okay? Because what you basically said is they're purposefully tanking. All right, no one's going to.
I'm not saying they're purposefully. I'm saying that
that's
the
what you're saying.
The opportunity is there for them to. Look, when you're a team and you're not good, coach, you can do one or two things. You can try to get better by drafting and trading and bringing in people or whatever have you, or you can let it go and just say, hey, look, we can't compete this year. And I think the Giants are falling in the latter category. So if you want to call it tanking, call it tanking.
That's selling off your parts. That's something different. That's getting, and if you have young talent that you want to develop, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. That's not tanking. But the way this team is, look at the way this team is really constructed. Yes, they have some young talent, but they don't have depth. We don't have depth. So in a lot of key positions, especially the offensive line. So it's kind of hard to let guys develop. Now, as a competitor, it doesn't even matter if it's football. It's all sports. When you go out there in a professional spectrum, your job is on the line, period. Case closed. And it's not just with the New York Football Giants. That's the other 31 teams. They all look at the film. So if they feel that, players are just going through the motions per se. Now, as far as the coaches, I don't see it. Why is Daniel Jones out there? Then y'all would have been yelling at me because I'm out there competing and I'm trying to until roughly 4 minutes. Then yeah, you know what? I'm not pulling my quarterback at the start of the fourth quarter. I'm sorry. I've seen too many things happen in the NFL. Teams are down 21 points in the fourth quarter and come back to win. So you have to compete. I get it. It's the perception, and perception.
It's how it looks on the field.
Reality.
It's not just not my perception. It's how it looks on the field. But guys ain't out there trying. They're getting blown by off the snap. These dudes ain't even getting in the way of these defenders.
Now, look.
You mean to tell me these guys forgot how to coach?
No.
From last year to this year, and they have gotten that bad? I mean, that bad.
Yes.
There's something wrong here, man.
Yes. And it goes through, what have I been saying? I said it starts with it goes through management, to coaching, to the players. Everyone is culpable. Everyone. But what you're saying is the coaches are putting the players out there, and in a sense, they're not verbalizing it, but they're kind of telling the guys, just go through the motions because we know we're not going to win. If players know that, you've lost your locker room. You will lose your locker room. And guess what's going to happen?
I think they're on the verge of losing it. I actually think that's what's happening.
There was a big debate with Don LaBrecco and Michael K today about this subject right here. If that's the case, the question was, should the subject be put on the table that if they don't win another game or they end up winning 2 games, should Dable be considered to be relieved of his duties? Michael K is saying flat out, no, he shouldn't. It shouldn't be put on the table. He should get another year. This is only his 2nd year. Don LaGreca is saying he should at least be considered. Not definitely no, keep him, but it still should be something on the table. I'm with Michael. No, you shouldn't. But now, if he loses his locker room and ownership knows it, this is the locker room. This is not 1 or 2 key players. This is the locker room. Then you have no other choice than to make a change. So, and that's where I'm saying players know this, bro. It's like your kids. Kids know when you're bullshitting them. They do. So, and kids and the players know this. If you're not really coaching, why am I going out here wasting my time and really trying to put myself in a position? I at least want to be able to get my money. I want to at least get my money. So I'm not going to go out there. If you're not giving me your all, why the fuck should I give you my all? And that's losing the locker room.
I think that's a lot of what's happening, but let me get to a few comments real quick.
Go ahead.
Tom A, what's good? Nah, you good? It's a good conversation, man. Y'all hit that like button, please, man. Hit the like button, share the stream, and subscribe. But Tom A, love the panel, man. Love the YouTube, bro. Next shift, man. What's good, Randy? What's up, man? Appreciate y'all, man. Tudo, what's good? Master salutes and respects the big boss. NYG22, Coach Ed, Tommy, Levance, Wells, Shelton, Joe, and all diehard fans in America. And please, F all Eagle losers. What's up, Tudo, man? Appreciate y'all, man. D-Dan says, I think DJ isn't being supported right now. McCarthy hugged Dak after 3 interceptions. Dabo threw a tablet. My point. Levance, let's see what else we got. My voice is lost from karaoke. My family dinner for Thanksgiving. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming through anyway, man, in the chat, man. We appreciate the love in the chat, man. Definitely, you guys are much a part of the show as we are, man. So please, man, definitely, man, appreciate all the love and support, man. Tudo says, NYG22, we agree with Coach Ed, boss. He knows the system. And that's fine. And like I said, I'm expecting a lot of people to disagree with me on this opinion. But it's something I feel, and I feel like I have some real solid evidence to back up what I'm talking about.
You're not the only one. You're not the only one. Trust me, you're not. You're not the only one. So I get it, and I respect it. I just, from a coaching perspective, as a competitor, I guess that's what it boils down to.
I know you saying as a competitor, and I understand that, but listen to me real quick. I understand that Dable and them and everyone is playing for a job, and everyone's coaching for a job, and this is the NFL, not for long league. But I feel like, particularly with Dable and Joe Shane, they kind of bought themselves a year with the playoff and the success they had last year. So that's number one. So if the order or if the mindset is to, just be bad because you don't want to be middle of the pack, and that's how a lot of these teams feel. They would rather be bad than middle of the pack because middle of the pack gets you nowhere. You know what I mean? It doesn't get you where necessarily where you're trying to go in some of these teams' minds, because everyone's chasing that magical quarterback. And we all know that is BS. We all know Big Blue Crew, you build in the trenches. But I feel like the type of coaches and the way, look at Buffalo. Buffalo don't got no dominant offensive line, but they got Josh Allen who can go out there and play backyard quarterback. They're trying to get that out of Daniel Jones, and it ain't happening. And it's frustrating them, and they're calling these vanilla bullshit-ass plays and this bullshit-ass offense. As soon as Tyrod Taylor goes out there, someone who can play backyard football to a degree, what happens? The play calling changes. Everyone starts to step up. See what I'm saying? It's funny. It's fishy, and it's funny. And I think they signed Daniel Jones thinking that they could get that out of Daniel Jones, that kind of backyard football. But Daniel Jones is not that type of quarterback. He's the type of quarterback that it fits in a system. and that system has to be right for him. And
Exactly.
I was thinking that's what the way they was going with this offensive line getting better, and them bringing in the weapons, that they was going to create that system for Daniel Jones. But they realized, and we all realized, that this offensive line ain't better; it's actually worse somehow, and that system ain't going to be there for Daniel Jones, not this season, and probably not next season, until they get this offensive line fixed. So I think they're probably pivoting and saying, look, we might as well just be bad, use this guy as a tackling dummy, because that's what he's going to be behind this offensive line coach, unless they get better somehow. Now, I know they brought in Linnell Collins, Justin Pugh. Man, these guys are veteran, they're old, and they're injured. I'm not expecting nothing or much from any of these guys. No one's coming in there to save the Giants' offensive line. This offensive line is going to be bad as long as Evan Neal, Ben Bredesen, and Mark Lewinsky are bad. Because Smits and Thomas, I think, are your saving grace here. But they're both hurt. So now you're seeing, and when they were healthy, the line was still bad. So this line ain't getting better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking to myself, what if that's the case? What if that's the case, man? That they're just saying, look, we got to get this line right.
If the NFL goes to this strategy and they're going to be coaching like that, then I don't need to be. I'm already a type of fan I don't buy fully in the NFL product as a whole because it's too commercialized for me. And I mean, you may be right in what you're saying, bro. I mean, that's today's game. I get it. I'm very old school with certain things. I
am too, Coach. I really am. But I'm just saying, the way I am, I be thinking about stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not from my perspective, from someone else's perspective. Yes. If it's me, I'm building in the trenches like the Eagles and Cowboys.
Yes. I
don't think Buffalo and Brian Dable and Mike Kafka, these guys are thinking like that. They come from not from the NFC East, where the NFC East has always been built in the trenches. They're from the AFC, where it's flash and pizzazz, and it's about the quarterback, and it's about chucking the ball down the field and putting up 500, 600, 700 yards of offense or whatever, like the Dolphins do, and the Chiefs do, and the Bills, and whoever else. That's where they come from, and that's the kind of offense that they want to run. They don't want to run the football. They have shown you they don't want to run the football. But the only way the New York Giants are going to win is by running the football. And so that's why it's funny to me why they call the plays and they do the things that they do. They're not dumb.
But you said it. You said Tyrod came in and the calls are different. They're supposed to be different. But they're supposed to because they're two different quarterbacks. Okay. They're not the same type of quarterback. But what have
we been talking about? Can Daniel Jones not operate the offense like or better than Tyrod Taylor? So why did you change the play calling when Tyrod Taylor came in?
Because Tyrod is not Daniel Jones. They're two Daniel Jones, like most people say, he's very robotic. And Tyrod Taylor is he's a veteran. He's been around. He's freelance. He's more, let's be real. Tyrod Taylor is more like Michael Vick than Daniel Jones will ever be.
And that's the kind of quarterback they want.
But the point I'm making is your question is, you said, why is the play calling different? I'm telling you the reason why. Because they're two different. You can't call them the same. It's just like if you have.
I agree with that. And so basically that's what they're telling you, that Daniel Jones is not capable of operating like Tyrod Taylor, and we can't call seam routes down the middle for Waller because Daniel Jones can't hit him. And that's that. And that further goes back to my point. They don't want this guy here deep down inside. And that's sad because you paid this dude, you put him through the ringer, you put him behind a bad offensive line, and at the end of the day, this is probably Daniel Jones' last.
But that's because they won. But this was all on the conversation too today. But that's because they won. If they did not win last year, let's be real. If they were in the top 5 in the draft or even the top
He's
10,
out of here. Yeah,
exactly. So, but now that guy, and they gave him a 2-year guarantee. Everybody says 4 years. It's a 2-year
yeah.
guarantee
They have an
contract,
out.
so they can get out of it. So even for everyone's argument that we end up in the top 5 and we have to draft a quarterback, you can even still let Daniel Jones go out there for most of next year or half the year, let him get beat up, and when the rookie is ready, put him out there to go play. So
Exactly.
there you go. So I get where everyone is going. I understand the logic. That's different. But now you also will build. Now you have to. Now if they start trading away pieces before the end of this month, then that's already telling me that's what they're doing for next year, because we are limited in draft capital next year because we're talking about the talent. We need talent. We need young talent. We also need to develop the talent that we have. I've been saying, why hasn't Jordan Riley been out there? But the report I got was they're bringing him along slowly. They're developing him. Well, if that's the case, that's what you're supposed to do. You also have veterans in front of him, so he can do that. And then when he's ready, you put him out here, i.e., Leonard Williams. Because when Jordan Riley is ready, that's who he pretty much is going to, in a sense, go out there. Him and DJ Davison. They're going to be out there.
And Hawkins is Adoree Jackson's replacement. Leaf, what's good, bro?
Exactly. So
what's going on, y'all?
So Leaf. So I get where you're going. I get the argument. And that's why, again, for me, it's also the competition. You know, when people go into this tank for Kayla, I just can't. I don't entertain it.
I don't agree with it either, Coach. I really don't, man. But I really feel like this is what's going on with these Giants coaches right now.
And it's hard, except for the Dolphins.
It's sad.
But see, now, I will say this. Okay, think about the Dolphins, and when they were fined for tanking. Didn't whatchamacallit say to them, I'm not tanking, but ownership wanted to. Now, you're telling me ownership is doing that. But see, just like you said.
I think John Mara wanted to work with Daniel Jones,
yes.
But he's getting pushback from Shane and Dable saying, look, this guy, we can't, he's not the guy for us.
So now you trade off your pieces. Now, if you start trading off your pieces, I'm with you. But if you have them, you have to play because you don't have too many young guys behind them. I'm not talking about Adoree and even Leonard Williams, but some of the other ones. If they trade Saquon Barkley, then you pretty much know that
already know what time it is.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's where I'm going. But right now, based on what we have, the key players, that's what you have to do. But if McKinney is traded, Adoree is traded, Leonard Williams traded, Saquon is traded, we all know what it is. We know what it is. You know, I mean, they get draft capital. They don't get players back. They get draft capital. Then that's basically saying they're stacking up because now next year they're going to try and reload. Then that's a different story. That's a different story. But still, you still have to put DJ out there. And you know what, DJ? You're the sacrificial lamb. And it is what it is.
That's how I feel what the Giants are doing. Do I agree with it? Hell no. I want to win football games, man, because I'm a New York Giants fan. I'm not a Daniel Jones or one of these players' fans. Exactly. I'm a New York Giants fan. I do not agree with it, but I swear to you guys, I really feel like that is exactly what's going on with this New York Giants, man. This is a sabotage job, man, because they want to eventually be in a position to draft their next franchise quarterback because they feel like Daniel Jones ain't the answer.
I will say this, too, and if that's the case, if this is the way they're doing it, to be brutally honest, they're doing it in a smart manner where you don't get caught with a paper trail because you saw what happened to Miami. So, but
and they paid Daniel Jones, so they could be like, "Look, we paid the guy, we gave him his money. We're bad. We're bad. We're just so bad. Exactly. Our line's so bad. Even though it's the same goddamn line you bought from last year that wasn't great, but at least it was functionable. But now all of a sudden they just turn into who am I supposed to block? Man, come on, man. Get out of here, man. I'm no idiot. You play me like I'm stupid as hell, man. These guys are mailing it in. Fuck out of here, man. What's up, Leaf?
Oh man, listen, hey, I got my own problems, man. We lost to the goddamn Raiders
I
last night.
know. I know.
That was some grade A BS, man. Like, listen, I was 50 something minutes into the show. I hope I didn't miss the Nets portion of this show.
Nah, we about to get into the basketball and right now, man. I might have fact now that you on here because this football this shit sucks. I hate talking about these guys, man.
But listen,
because I know it's some bullshit. I know it is.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a sabotage. It definitely looked like a sabotage job, but yeah, I don't know, man. We got our own problems, man. Like, listen, it is what it is.
Yeah, man. But let's get into the Knicks. We'll circle back around and hit the Jets, man, later on. At least they won their game, but they got some bullshit going on too.
Whoa. Hold up. The Knicks.
I mean the Jets. My fault.
The Jets.
I meant the Jets.
The Nets. You said that you were going to talk about the Knicks first, and
the Nets. I mean, yeah. Because the Nets lost to the Lakers in the preseason, man. But Cam Thomas was a spark. He's doing his thing, man. Of course, scoring from all parts of the court. You know what I'm saying? 3-pointers. I seen him, playmaking a little bit out there, which was something that I haven't seen, a lot from him. Nice couple passes there. Did not get to watch the whole game. I don't know if you did, Leaf, but Ben Simmons, man, what's your thoughts on Ben Simmons and how he looked? I thought he looked decent for his first action, coming into the season.
Well, first off, before I get into everything about the game, I just want to say shout out to you, of course. Shout out to Coach. Shout out to everybody that supports the Nets. Big fan, Breezy, man. Nets Kingdom, Nets Daily. Everybody, man. Listen, anybody that's not up on what the Nets is doing and what the Nets potential is, I'm gonna tell everybody out there that's listening, y'all ain't gonna never see it coming. That's my slogan this whole year. Ain't nobody gonna never see it coming, man. But to get into the game, Ben Simmons, yeah, man, he looked like he looked like he was ready. He looked like he was ready to do damage. I mean, obviously he can't shoot. He didn't give a damn. He still went to the basket, and that's what you want, from him. But I think the 3 players on our team yesterday, pertaining to yesterday, 3 players that I saw no fear out of, and I saw was ready to play. And I saw you can tell that they are consummate professionals and consummate NBA players. Obviously, Cam Johnson and 2 other players, Lonnie Walker, who didn't shoot as well, but he didn't have no fear neither, and another player by the name of Dennis Smith Jr. Because when him and Cam Johnson, Cam Thomas was on the court, they were doing damage. And I think they're going to play very well together, man. Listen,
that's that defense-offense combination. You know what I'm saying? Because
absolutely,
Smith got the defense. You know what I'm saying? He can switch off. You know what I'm saying? With different defenders. You know what I'm saying? And help Cam Thomas out because we know Cam is not strong on the defensive end, but offensively, they're gonna really click.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and especially in the defense to offense situations when and the 3 of the listen. I've been saying it all off season, man. The 3 of the keys for us to be winning night in and night out is defense, pace, transition, and our reserves. Our reserves is gonna win a lot of games for us. They those 3 individuals that I just named, they're gonna win a lot of games. They're gonna help us
hit the link. I got the link in the chat. If you want to jump on and talk some Nets.
Yeah,
in the NBA preseason, this show is probably going to be heavily geared towards the NBA. The NFL season is apparently over for the New York teams. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think those 3 players, Lonnie Walker, Dennis Smith Jr., Cam Thomas, they're gonna help this Nets team win a lot of games this year. That bench is gonna help. They're gonna help us win a lot of games this year. This team kind of reminds me of the 2018-2019 Clippers. where the starting lineup didn't know what the hell they were doing, bro. Like, and basically, basically Cam Thomas is our Lou Williams.
Lou Williams, I was gonna say, yep, Lou Williams.
That's
He was
basically
part of
what
that
he
team.
is, man. And I'm looking at this. Obviously, it's only one game. I would like to see Cam Thomas finish with use his left hand around the basket a little bit more and go into contact. He been in the weight room obviously this year, man. He definitely was getting his weight up, man. You could tell.
He looked like he got a little bit stronger with his moves to the basket. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's going to help him a little bit on defense as well. If you look at play, but go look at Steph Curry, man. He been in the weight room and he ain't really getting moved around as easy as he used to, man. I mean, he's still high yellow, man. You can still score on him easy, but I mean, it's like you listen. He ain't getting moved around. He putting some effort in, and I think I see the same type of strides. I think I see the same type of strides with Cam Thomas, that he wants to be here and that he's making an effort towards what Coach Jacques Vaughn is wanting, and that's putting some effort on the defensive end. And other areas of his game is going to be unlocked this year. By the time this year is over, man. As far as our start lineup goes, man, it was just only one game. I'm not looking forward to I'm really not looking forward to Ben Simmons really starting too much, because him and Nick Claxton in the starting lineup, that's not really working.
Not going to work.
Yeah, that's not really going to work. Cam Johnson didn't play. He's nursing an injury. So when he comes back, obviously the lineup is probably going to be what it was in the closeout of last year, man, with Dinwiddie, Mikal, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Nicholas Claxton, who I think is another player that's making excellent strides, man. He's taking advantage of his one-on-one opportunities as well. And but I like this team. It seemed like we got a lot of depth in places that we don't necessarily need it. Clowney was another guy that came through. I was very, very surprised at what he produced yesterday. He had good 7-8 rebounds off the bench.
That is the Nets first round draft pick.
Yes, Clowney. Noah Clowney. Yeah. Because Day'Ron Sharp had went out. My boy is JTV. He was a little bit mad with that, man. I told him I said Day'Ron, man, like his spot might be grabbed, man. Like if he can't get right, he can't get his hands together.
Yeah, they got a lot of 4 and 5s on this team right now. You're talking about Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, looking at Claxton, Clowney, and you bringing in Sharp as well. And they got Baisley and Wofford too.
Baisley, Wofford, and Wilson. Jalen Wilson. He looked a little bit nervous yesterday. I ain't gonna lie to you. He looks a little bit sporadic, man. But I mean, as a rookie, you can have that. Yeah, he did look a little bit nervous. He looked a little bit sporadic, but I think he's gonna get it together. He's gonna have to if you want a spot in this lineup. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the young guys, specifically our draft picks this year, those guys is playing for a spot. As far as Lonnie Walker, Cam Thomas, and whatchamacallit is concerned, I think it's pretty much stamped, man. If Jacques Vaughn ain't stamping them dudes in some type of rotation, something is clearly wrong. We need to run up in that office, man, and it's time to start going Ice Cube. It's time to start doing what Ice Cube did to priority records, man. Like, cause this ain't right. This ain't right, man. Like, for real. Listen. I know you dealing with that stuff with the Giants, but I'm not taking this stuff here, not in this city. No, I'm not doing that. That's what I'm not doing.
Oh,
Coach, what you think, man?
I'm sorry.
Coach.
Yeah. I don't really dive too deep into the Nets. It's not the Nets of the 90s, but I mean, trust y'all's opinion on what y'all got. So y'all know better than me. So
I'm going to tell you what about the Nets, man. Look, this is gonna be the only team in New York that exceeds expectations. Because the Knicks, I think their expectations are higher than the Nets, obviously, and I don't think they're going to meet them.
I mean, what
They'll
about the Liberty though? Like, I think they already exceeded expectations.
Well, the Liberty, yes, they have. I will give the Liberty credit. And Coach is going to get into the Liberty later on in Coach's Corner, but definitely the Liberty is a team that can do that. Shout out to the Rangers. That's another team that can exceed expectations, but I really think it's going to be the Nets. Outside of all these teams, Yankees mess, they stink. So what you got to look at though is defense, and that is where this team is going to make its mark. You know what I'm saying? They have to do it on the defensive end. Ben Simmons is the key to that. Ben Simmons is the key.
Absolutely, and I think they have to the starters and the go-to guys that's going to be in starting roles and them high minutes roles. They have to establish identities, and I think they have to do it quickly, because the thing is, when you have such a roster where you got fill-in guys and you got guys that's rotation guys that's ready to play, and they're not accustomed to playing those 30-plus minutes, but when they get those minutes, they're ready to take a spot and show that they're ready to at least go out there and perform at a high level with the team. What you have is guys you basically have hard work beating out talent that doesn't work hard. That's basically what you have. You know what I'm saying? So realistically,
absolutely.
Realistically, with this roster,
the Nets ain't the most talented team. We know that. We know they're not the most talented team. We know they probably gonna have some struggles on the offensive end. But what I'm saying is defense always wins championships. And when you have a core and a culture that's geared towards stopping the other team, then everything else will come with it in due time. And I feel like that's where the Nets can be this season. Will they get there this season? Probably not. But going into building off this season, going into next season, I think, you add a scorer, or two. I definitely think this could be a team, that could possibly compete for a championship in the future. But it starts this year, and they have to have Ben Simmons be a part of that. I know. But
look,
he's your most highest paid player right now, and you got to get something out of this dude. Got to.
Right. But I put it to you this way: after last night, the only thing that could really slow him down, to me, in terms of what I've seen out of him, like just last night, and revolving back to how he would attack when he had his opportunities out in Philly. The only thing that would really reverse him back to the old ways is probably another injury. You know what I'm saying? And and I ain't no way, shape, or form wishing that on him, but it seems like that's gonna hinder that lower back injury really hindered a large part of what he was good at. And that's
what's gonna help Ben Simmons leave? It's not having Kevin Durant on his team, Kyrie Irving on his team, Joel Embiid on his team. He doesn't have that type of personality on the team right now. He is the personality that's supposed to be that. You know what I mean? But Ben Simmons is not that type of guy. But I think I'm gonna get to you real quick, Coach. I think that not having those guys on the team helps him mentally. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think he could possibly, excel and start to become that superstar that we all know he could be. Go ahead, Coach.
No, I said bless you.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was going to say, as far as superstar goes, I don't think that's the direction that Ben Simmons is trying to go. Is trying to revert to from where he was. He was.
What I'm saying, but I think just being a solid player, get back to that.
I think he can be that. He could be a solid player and a solid piece for this team in terms of roles. The way I see this team is no real superstars, but a lot of guys that are really, really good at their roles. You got Mikal that's going to play a lot of motion and everything, and be the on ball stopper. You got Claxton, who's going to be the all-around defensive guy, and fill in the blanks with his little opportunities, man, on offense. You got Ben Simmons, who's going to be the downhill facilitator, driving kick type of guy. We know what he could do on defense. We know what he could do on the boards. He could rebound and get the break going. And then we got bench guys that's going to be energy. Dennis Smith Jr. going to be energy. Lonnie Walker is going to be energy. Cam Thomas is going to be
I like
buckets
Walker,
off
man.
the bench.
I think Walker is definitely a solid pickup for the Nets.
Absolutely. I think, listen, when you come from the Popovich system, bro, the one thing that you're going to know is you're going to know how to be a professional, and you're going to know how to be an NBA player, an NBA basketball player. And that's what I think Lonnie Walker is. He's an NBA basketball player, and so is Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas is his growth to me, man. Listen, it's beyond.
Shout out to Cam Thomas, man, for real, man, because he could definitely be that spark offensively that the Nets are gonna need. Now he still has to develop. Obviously, still got some maturing to do, man. But just from so far from last season to coming into this season, it definitely feels like he is ready to take on that next step and be that type of guy. We were talking earlier about Emmanuel quickly on the Knicks. Coach is a Knicks fan, but what the Nets have and Cam Thomas, I think he could be, if not equal or better than quickly over there for the Knicks. So definitely, man. Shout out to Cam Thomas, man. Shout out to Big
Cam
fan
Thomas can play defense.
Cam Thomas is a better offensive player than Emmanuel Quickly is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And right now, I said he could be better than Emmanuel Quickly, man, because offensively he already is better than Emmanuel Quickly. He just needs to get better on the defensive end.
Quickly's limitations offensively is because of Tibbs. Remember, when he first came into the league, he was putting it up. Tibbs is the one. This is what I said earlier. The issue with the Knicks is Tibbs. I shouldn't even be blaming Julius Randle as much as I should, because Tibbs is the one that enables it. So that's why I say, when you say Cam Thomas, the thing that's to Cam Thomas's benefit is he's not playing for Tibbs. Plain and simple. If he played for Tibbs would stagnate his growth.
I thought Jock Vaughn was about to become Tibbs, man, but it looked like he about to let this dude loose, man. Thankfully.
Listen,
I was afraid of that, yo.
Yeah, and you know what? It couldn't have come at a better time, because realistically, if you look at this roster up and down, this is Jock Vaughn's team. This is the guys that he wants. This is the two-way type of players that he wants. I think Cam Thomas is in the mix to that. But the thing is, if Cam Thomas went in the weight room and got his weight up, that means he's trying to put an effort into doing something that Jock Vaughn wants him to do. That's what that means. So he's trying to be a team guy and work with the team and be with the team and get on the same page as a lot of these guys that's trying to. We got guys that's trying to get in and get minutes. With the young guys, what I talked about a little bit earlier with the picks that we got this year, and Wilson. I don't think I seen Dariq Whitehead, but Noah Clowney definitely played, and Noah Clowney it's possible that he might get a spot sooner than later. Obviously, Royce O'Neal, and Dorian Finney-Smith, they're gonna occupy the hustle spots and the defensive spots. Or at the 4 in the starting lineup, and maybe at the 3 off the bench. But the thing is, realistically, with this team is that, how could I forget about Harry Giles too? Shout out to Harry Giles. Harry Giles, he might be getting that backup center role. I think Clowney might get the backup 4 role. So that's gonna make us a little bit taller. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was worried about our height and our size and everything, so I think that's gonna make us maybe a little bit taller, man. As far as Ben Simmons being in the start lineup,
Harry Giles, 6'11", 240.
Yes, exactly. So as far as us, as far as Ben Simmons starting, I'm not too gun-ho with that, man. But the thing is, Cam Thomas needs to get minutes. That is clear as day. I think we all could agree on that. Knicks fan, Nets fan, whoever fan.
I don't know if the Nets should put Cam in the starting lineup, but I do want to see him get more minutes than Dinwiddie. I do want to see him get more minutes than Dinwiddie. And that's what I want to see. I don't know if he should start. You can still not start him and bring him off the bench, and he still plays significant minutes depending on how you do your rotation. Because if you're going to have a rotation in there with Ben Simmons playing a lot of minutes, then you probably want Cam as that. But now if Clax is in the game, you take Ben out, you put Dinwiddie in.
Right. Pop, you know what I forgot to tell you about that game? Dinwiddie, he shot 4 for 5. And it was all from 3, but you know what that means? That he don't have the damn ball in his hand like he did last year. That's what it means. That means he's playing off the ball, playing that off-guard position, man, like he needs to be playing it, and he's back to playing that. Once he gets the ball in his hand, I don't like it. No, I don't like it.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to play in the lineup with Ben Simmons. Then that's what's.
And I think he can play in the lineup with Ben Simmons because listen, if he shot the ball like he couldn't wait to get back to the off-ball spot. That's how he was shooting the ball. You know what I'm saying? So Dinwiddie, he wasn't hesitating. He wasn't wasting time. He was like, listen, I'm getting this ball. Okay, I got my one-on-one. Boom. I'm going up. I'm taking my shot. And that's realistically what I've been telling Breezy for months. I said I do not want him with the basketball in his hands. And I said that last night proved what I already knew about Dinwiddie and what I already know about my team. I already told everybody outside of this city, y'all ain't gonna never see it coming. None of you. They ain't gonna never see it coming, Breeze.
I know. I'll be honest with you, man.
Breezy.
What's up, man? Happy to be back, man. What up? Yo, shout the heart of the city, man. What is it? Episode 30 something around there?
5, man. Double nickel, bro.
Double nickel.
It's 55. Yeah. Oh yeah. Salute, man. We got 45 more to 100, man. Yeah, we gonna raise up.
Yo, NYG 22 been turning up, man. Man, y'all been doing the Giants bad on these last few streams, man.
They deserve it. Fuckers deserve it. Get my hopes up, man. You go out there and look like this shit. You know, I give it to the Nets the same way. Pause. You know what I'm saying? They go out there and they flip flop like fucking fish out of water. Go ahead.
Shout to you and Coach, man. I hear y'all airing out y'all grievances, you know what I mean? I just been in the chat crying, like, damn, yo, they were so up on the Giants last season. Like, I was like, damn, they making me not want to be a fan no more, but I'm still a fan.
Yeah, man. You go through some things, man. I think it's a conspiracy moving around the Giants organization. I know people don't agree with that, man, but I think they're doing this shit on purpose, man.
But
this team get that bad, you know what I'm saying? From one year to the next.
That's why you unpopular opinion sports, man.
Exactly.
I love it, man. But I'm gonna be honest. I hear y'all talking about the Nets, and I feel like Cam Thomas checked all the boxes for Jacque Vaughn. You know, they interviewed Jacque Vaughn in the post-game interview, and he spoke highly of Cam Thomas, you know, and I wanted to hear Coach speak on this when, because I feel like Cam Thomas is an emerging star, and I know he said you don't speak on the Nets. This is not necessarily a Nets question. This is a coach to player question. You know, I feel like Cam Thomas checked all the boxes for Jacque Vaughn. Jacque Vaughn acknowledged everything that he did for him to play both sides of the ball, and now he's actually getting minutes. 26 points in 22 minutes is nothing to sneeze at. That's definitely on pace for a 40-point game. But now that that's happened, my question to Coach is, don't you see the connection between the one of the better scorers on the team and making sure that one of the better scorers on the team doesn't think that just because you can score means that's all we need from you. I see that connection between Jack Vaughn and Cam Thomas now, and an example of that would be Pop and Coach. I mean, a Pop and a Duncan. Like, he needed Duncan to play more than the offensive side of the ball. He needed him to play both sides of the ball. Do you see
course.
a relationship building between Jack Vaughn and Cam Thomas?
Well, again, as far as their relationship, I can't speak to that directly. But
Mm,
yes, what you're saying is true. Yes, a coach has to build a relationship with his player because the player has to know what his role is and what the coach wants him to do. It's just that simple. So if he
right.
wants him to go out there and play defense, then he needs to go out there to earn his minutes and keep his minutes. Then he needs to go out there and play defense along with doing what his skill set calls for. So, because if his skill set is scoring points, don't lose sight of that. I said it earlier about Tibbs with Evan Fournier. Fournier said, he is a good player. You still need to use him. He wants
Right.
to play defense, but with Tibbs, we all know if you ain't playing defense the way he wants, you ain't going out there. Period. Case closed. It's just that simple. So, and that's what Fournier has to do. And the same thing with Cam Thomas. As Jacques Vaughn is about defense, bro, go out there and play defense. Give him your. It's really about the effort. That's really what it boils down to.
Absolutely.
Yes, you go out there, you get your points, you do your thing. But as long as you're giving me effort, then I could justify you being out there. But if you're going out there and you slouching and being lackadaisical, you're not getting back on defense. Like I complain about Julius. I said one of the biggest things about him that I have a problem with is, you know what? You sit there and you cry to the officials instead of, run back and play on defense, man. Just run back and play on defense. Worry about that later. Go through a timeout, a TV timeout, and pull the referee to the side and voice your concern or your displeasure. Same thing with Cam Thomas. That's all he needs to do. Go out there, give effort, maximum effort, and let everything else take care of itself. And if he's doing that, then it's going to justify the coach leaving you out there on the court.
Nah, I hear that. I respect that too. And I agree with you, honestly. Yo, listen, man, I ain't even got much time to talk, but I did want to show face to say, I appreciate everything y'all been doing. Again, y'all been on an incredible run, and I am glad that I'm part of this show, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me just be honest, man. I'm glad I'm a part of this show, and I think that it's going to continue to grow. And I like the content because, like I said, y'all made me a Giants fan last season, but this season with all of to piggyback off what y'all saying before I came up. I hope that the Nets can, translate some of that energy that the Liberty is winning with to the Barclays because they playing in the Barclays and hopefully it could translate to us. That being said, we'll see. The Liberty play tomorrow. They down 0-1. Hopefully they could, make it an even series before coming back to the Barclays. And I do think that Inescu was right, you know what I mean, for saying what she said about playing the best basketball in the city right now, because it wakes people up. Like, yeah, everybody's waiting for the NBA to start. Meanwhile, the New York Liberty is hooping. So I don't want to overlook what they did this, even if they don't get the championship. I just want to say they played an incredible season, and I'm rooting for them. But yo, I'm gonna jump in.
Absolutely, man.
I'm gonna jump in the comments because I'm at work. Not me. So I'm gonna jump in the comments, and I'm gonna just be in the chat. The
All
shout out to
right,
y'all.
man.
Salute, y'all. Salute.
Appreciate you coming through, bro. You know what I'm saying? Go sub the Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. His link is in the description of the video. He is one of the members of Heart of the City, man. You know what I'm saying? He was definitely on the panel. My bro, you know what I'm saying? From back in the day, man, we go back since literally kids. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Big Fan Breezy, man. Like I said, his link is in the description, man. And shout out to Leaf, man. Leaf disappeared on me too, man. But you know, excitement, man, for basketball, man. To piggyback off what Breezy was saying, the New York is, you know, I feel like more of a basketball town. Deep down inside, you know, this is the Mecca, as they say, of basketball, you know. So, you know, think about you talking about Rucker Park, Madison Square Garden, two iconic places to play ball at, you know what I'm saying, around not just the US, but the world. So definitely, man, shout out to Brooklyn, shout out to New York, and shout out to NBA basketball being back, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into the New York Knicks, man, for a little bit, man. You know, Knicks beat the Celtics. We mentioned earlier about Emmanuel quickly. You know, I was looking at the stats. You know, Jericho Sims, man, he was in there, man, playing. You know, had 7 rebounds. So that is something that the Knicks are gonna have to they're gonna have to use, man. You know, Sims, Robinson, Hartenstein. You know, these forwards, man, these centers, man, they're gonna have to be in there, man. Definitely holding down the paint, man, for the Knicks. I know you was a big Jericho Sims fan, Coach. You know, do you think he can step in and to a better role or a more significant role this season, given the absence of Obi Toppin?
Yes. Jericho is definitely built for it. You know, with his ability, first and foremost, his leaping ability. This man can actually leap and put a quarter on top of the backboard. That's elevation, man. Seriously. You know, and it also allows you to get rebounds, and you can sky over guys without going over their back to get rebounds. But it also defensively, just jumping forces offensive players to adjust their shots, and that's what you really want. You want, you know, with good elevation, to, you know, guys who are shooting to, you know, try and shoot outside of their normal form. So now, is he an offensive player? No, but you can use him in the pick and roll, and he can go up and he can get those alley oops, and it changes the whole dynamic of, you know, your offense, and it allows, you know, guys like Brunson, even Julius, you know, when they utilize and play off of him, now they can attack the paint. You know, now they could, you know, pick and roll, and, you know, they can go right down the lane because he's given them the opportunity to, you know, to attack the rim, because the defense is going to have to at least honor him because of, and worry about him because of his ability to elevate and go up there and get rebounds and get the alley oop. So,
And the Knicks are gonna need that, Coach. I
mhm,
was just looking at
mhm,
the Knicks roster. They're a small team. They
exactly.
don't really have a lot of size pause
Josh Hart is
on
supposed
that
to be the
roster.
Josh Hart is going to
Josh
be
Hart is
the
6'4".
and he's playing the power forward. He's playing the small ball power forward for the Knicks
See,
in the second
I
unit.
don't know if that's gonna work in the playoffs.
But again,
Um,
it's the second unit, so I mean, you'll do
yeah.
things throughout the season. I get it. I
Mm-hmm.
understand. A lot of teams play small ball. Look at the Golden State Warriors. We could sit here and
I
say
get
it's
it.
not going to work,
I get
and
it.
now you need.
Yeah, I understand. I guess I'm a little old school in that
I am
perspective,
too.
like you are with
I am.
football. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, these dudes is they small. You know
But
what I'm saying? Julius
what do
Randle's only
teams,
6'8". I mean, you know, now
what do teams
6'8" is
do?
a decent size in the NFL. I mean, the NBA, but outside of him, and that's why I was asking you about Sims and Hartenstein and some
Hmm.
of these other guys. You know, that's gonna have to, I feel like, fill in for Toppin, because you know you pretty much, he was your size, your backup power forward. You didn't really replace him, in my opinion. So.
No, they didn't. But I mean, I know some fans are clamoring about his brother. You know, we might have the better Toppin,
Oh
um,
yeah, he
because he went
is
out
the
there and
is.
produced. I don't know. I just have to wait and see. But the bottom line is,
Jacob Toppin.
yeah, Jacob. He played at Kentucky, so he's fundamentally sound. So having to play for
6'9",
Calipari.
205. Okay.
So if he can round in to if he fits Tibbs' system better, okay, fine, no problem, I get it. But I'm not expecting him to. I'm really not. I'm not banking on him. He's new to the NBA. I don't care if your brother was there. This ain't. And yes, you played at Kentucky, so you understand the game of basketball. Because of who you played for, but it's still a lot of work that he needs to put in to become a serviceable NBA player. So, like I was saying earlier, in terms of the small ball, in terms of the small ball type of play, I get it, because the thing is though, we're old school, but a lot of teams are playing that way. So if teams are playing
I
that
get it.
way,
Yeah.
you do have to adjust to that. So and
you got to have some versatility, though. I think in your lineup,
yes.
I mean, you have to have the ability to play bigger, particularly when you're going up against like Milwaukee's and Boston's and teams like
now
that.
think about that. You're talking
lineups.
about their starting. Our starting lineup is big when you really think about it, because you have Julius and you have Mitchell Robinson. That's your big size with your starters. So they're talking about with the second unit with DiVincenzo, Quickly, Josh
guys
Hart,
like
Hartenstein.
6'4", Quickly.
Quickly is like 6'3". He's like 6'3". So, and I get it. I understand in terms of what they're trying to do. In terms of that, do I agree with it wholeheartedly? No. But if that's also the way the NBA is played, so I get it. You do have to adjust and adapt to what teams are doing nowadays, and that's the way they're playing. So, and if it works and they can get some semblance of success out of it, okay, go for it. But time will tell with this team. So that's all I can say with these Knicks.
Yeah, I know a lot of people though. They really they feel like they want this Knicks team to go out and get a guy. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been holding on to these draft picks and different things like that, man. But if I'm a Knicks fan, honestly, I'm going to continue to see Knicks fans. You have to understand, this team has been bad for a very long time. Me and Coach as Giants fans, we feel some semblance of that, even though the Giants have been more successful, obviously, than the Knicks. But when your team is bad for an extended period of time, you start to get desperate. And with this Knicks team, I don't feel like you're in the necessary need to be desperate to try to go out there and get another superstar, trade for a superstar. Because that's all I hear on Knicks Twitter is, who can they trade for?
And that's what they're saying. But Leon Rose is not beat for it. Think about it. He's not doing that. It's been called for. Donovan Mitchell. He said, "I'm not giving up all that for Donovan Mitchell."
Right.
And so
shouldn't.
But that's my point. So in that regard, Knicks fans there's a large facet of Knicks fans that their whole thing is, we want a superstar. I get it. Superstars help you get to win championships. I get it. I understand that. But do you sell your soul? Because to get a Zion Williamson, you're literally going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up RJ. You're going to have to give up Grimes. You're going to have to give up Quickly. You're going to have to give up 4 or 5 first-round draft picks plus pick swaps, and just for one player. It's too much.
Yeah,
Now if you told me I'd have to give up an RJ, a Quickly, and a couple of first-round draft picks and this pick swap, maybe I could consider it. Or I'm sorry, I have to include Julius in that, because they both play power forward.
But you want to keep. Ideally, you probably want to keep Barrett.
Yeah, no,
If you're
it's probably going to be Grimes. It's going to be Grimes.
if you're gonna let Julius Randle go, I mean, because what kind of okay, if you're trying to form I guess a big three or something of that essence, why would you give up Barrett and Randall? So you're basically just going to
No, no,
be
no, no. What I was saying
Brunson
is,
and
I was saying I had to
Zion?
include Randy in the trade because I didn't initially include him. So I'm thinking probably Julius Grimes, maybe quickly in the
Okay,
picks, because I was
okay,
saying
I can see
Julius is a
that.
power forward, just like Zion is a power forward.
Yeah,
That's really what it boils down to. So
right.
and don't
You want to
forget
swap them out.
RJ and Zion are best
Or
friends.
Mitchell Robinson. If you're
You're
gonna
not
keep
giving up
Randall,
Mitchell
you have
Robinson.
to
You're not.
let
No,
Robinson go because
no, no. You're not
one of
doing
the
that.
two have to go. Either
I'm
Zion, I mean
doing
Randall or Robinson.
Randall. Who's playing center? You're gonna put Zion because Julius ain't gonna be playing no damn center.
That had to be
Ju-
Zion Williamson.
And that's my. I'm not doing that either. I'm trading
Are you gonna
Julius
bring
Randall.
Hartenstein or one of them off the
If
bench?
anything,
Replace him?
if I have to trade Mitchell Robinson, I'm comfortable with Sims. Sims, remember Sims played for Mitchell last year, and he did. And you had Hartenstein,
Mhm.
but you brought
Yeah,
Jericho
right.
Sims to start over Hartenstein. So that tells me how much they really believe in, and they want Hartenstein on the second unit anyway.
What's
So,
good, Koof man? What's up,
so,
bro? Appreciate you
so
coming through.
if you're gonna make a trade like that for that superstar, I mean, then I could see giving up Grimes. Then you could probably move either DiVincenzo or Josh Hart to the starting lineup. It takes away some scoring ability, but you don't lose. Well,
Mhm.
DiVincenzo probably is a better scorer, but Hart is probably as equally a good as a defender. He's just not the shooter that Grimes is. So, you know, in that situation. But in terms of the superstar, that's the only thing. It's like I don't want to give up because I think of the Carmelo Anthony situation where they gave up so much to get Carmelo when number one, if you waited really.
I definitely wouldn't. Zion wouldn't be my target if I'm the Knicks. I don't know why
No,
these Knicks fans want Zion Williamson. Look, man,
Zion is
if you a
definitely
Knicks fan and if you especially if you are follow the city, follow Hot of the City. We talk about injuries so much on this
mhm,
podcast. It's ridiculous with all these teams. Why in hell would you go and trade for Zion? Can't say I wouldn't do
because to be brutally honest, okay, yes, the injuries are an issue, but
that. A
is
major
Zion
issue.
the biggest reason why his injuries are an issue is because of his weight. It's really because of his weight. As long as he
Mm.
keeps his weight down, I think he can
You
play
sure
in good
about
shape.
that?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
As long as he keeps his weight down, that's the issue. Keep his weight down. He far exceeds anything Julius Randle can bring to the table. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. As far as
So
Randall's concerned, I mean,
and
he's
that's
definitely has more upside than Julius Randle. You to be
so I
um,
would. That's the
a better
reason
player.
why I would strongly
I think
consider
Randall's
it.
the better player now, honestly, but I think Zion being younger, if you
No,
give
Zion is
him
if
if
Zion is in shape and he's playing at his normal ability. No, Julius is not better than him. Julius is 24 and 10. Zion will get you easily. Zion can average 30 points a game. Remember when he was healthy,
I'm
New
saying
Orleans.
now because we haven't seen that from Zion. You see what I'm saying? Like he has to prove on the court that he can be that
He did
consistent. You've
last
seen
year.
that
He
over time. You know what I'm saying? But the
Julius. I mean, was
injuries
yes. The
is
injury is what. But what I'm saying is when he was healthy and on the court, he was getting
oh,
them.
when healthy,
Yes,
yeah. When
yes.
healthy, but
When he's
my
healthy.
comparison is like you have to add health into the factor because if my guy's
No,
not
you
healthy and
don't.
he's not
But
playing, Julius Randle plays. I mean, he got hurt
but
and banged up
here's
in
the other
playoffs, but
factor, though.
he's been
Here's the
out there for
other
you guys.
factor.
You know what I mean?
Here's the other factor. Seriously. Yes, you're going to say the health, but you're not going to say that's the only reason why you're not going to make the trade because you're going to say we're going to hope that he plays because every player faces injury. You can't. I get it. I understand. We do put a lot. Now, when you have a large facet of your team getting hurt, I get it, and I understand he's a superstar, but it's worth it. It's worth it. But name me a superstar that doesn't get hurt. The Greek freak gets hurt. Anthony
Yeah,
Davis
that's
gets
true.
hurt. I
They
mean,
all
they all
fragile
get
these
hurt.
days.
So that's where
Yeah,
I
you
say
don't
if you're
have
going after a superstar,
those days where like Stockton, he played like what a ridiculous amount of games or something like that. Like,
exactly. It's not that
that's
era.
ridiculous.
They don't play like that yet.
I can agree with you on that, Coach. Yeah.
But now,
I'm be a realist.
right now, I would say you have to hold off. You have to wait. You have to let the season start and see where it goes. You have to see what happens with New Orleans because if New Orleans is playing at as one of the top teams in the West, they're not trading Zion Williamson, especially if he's
Oh
getting
yeah.
them 27, 28 points, double digit rebounds, and he's getting good blocks because he plays better defense than Julius Randle could ever play. The only thing Julius has over him is a consistent 3-point shot.
Jump
Zion
shot.
Williamson can go into the lane. He can bully people down. He can take you off the dribble. He gives you those monster nasty dunks. Defensively, he's a good help defender. He can play his man he can play on defense on his man because guess what? Don't forget he came from Coach K. So playing for Coach
Mm.
K, you have to play defense. So he has some of those fundamentals in him. It's just he's not consistent with his 3-point shot. That's what Julius has him over that. Otherwise,
So to make your argument for you, because I'm a
mhm,
realist. Zion's playing tonight. He's, Pelicans down to the
mhm.
Magic 101. I just thought I'd peek in and see if he was out there. 15 minutes, 12 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds,
Mm-hmm.
4 for 8 shooting.
Mm-hmm. 15 minutes. So
Yep.
everything I need to know. He wasn't, and I'm not expecting him to go out there that much right now to start. So
Yeah, this is preseason too. We don't take much
yeah.
stock in the preseason, but it
Mm-mm.
does give you an indication on how healthy a player
And,
is.
and and as far as beating the Celtics also didn't play none of their key players, even
They
though the
didn't.
Knicks
Yeah.
the Knicks played some of theirs for short minutes, but still, I mean, you still had them out there. So while Boston didn't, so that tells me if Boston has their key players out there, if this was a regular season game, I do think this is a much different ball game.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
Boston is I freaking hate the Celtics, y'all. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I
we all
have to
do.
say the Drew Holiday edition does make them a much better team.
Yes, it does.
And they're going to be a problem in the East again for any
Mhm.
team, But West, we'll see. We'll see with Denver. Some of these other teams, Phoenix. Golden State, LA, if they get their act together, we'll see. But I definitely think the Celtics, is probably up there as one of the favorites, man. In not just the Eastern Conference, but the NBA, man. I think Drew
Mhm.
Holiday makes that much of a difference, man. I wish the Knicks or the Nets or Knicks would have got him, not so much the Nets, but more or less for the Knicks. I think he probably would have been a better fit because I think the Nets are more in the develop kind of C mode with some of their players. As far as the Knicks, man, who are looking for that next superstar to take them over the top, man.
I
So
think also
definitely thought he would have been a fit for the Knicks.
everyone in the league also. I don't think everyone's going to trade with the Knicks without trying to rip them off. I mean, and it's just going to force them to keep holding and holding and
See, now
holding and
you in
holding.
the conspiracy mode,
No, no, no,
coach.
no, 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 no. That's not conspiracy. That's business.
Come on, man. I mean, how
you're
you think
trying.
you think it's something against the? That's what you're saying, though. You're saying it's a conspiracy against the Knicks that anybody that's traded with the Knicks, they're gonna try to get over on them. That's what you're saying.
No. It's you look at the assets that they have and you try to get as much as you can out of them. Now,
Anybody would do that with any team.
has
Don't you
has
think?
Oklahoma City traded for a superstar either? No. They're doing the same thing. That's what I'm getting at. Across the league, yeah, everyone knows, well, the Knicks want a superstar. So the Knicks want a superstar. So what do you do to get that superstar? You try and get as much as you can out of them. Now it's negotiations. Yes, you do have to work your way down, but you also, if you can try and get more than what, how desperate are the Knicks? Where are they at during the course of the season? So, are they really feeling that heat? Because if they are, then you might be able to get more than what they would be normally willing to give up. So, and that's just business. That's basic sports business. That's how I look at it. So,
Yeah,
as
nah,
long as the Knicks have
you.
those, as long as they have them, and you also look at the other fact too. Some of these first round draft picks, it's based on the team that has the what you call it, and if they're continue to be protected, eventually they're going to be second round draft picks. So these teams also know that too. So because if you look at the Mavericks is a top 12. So, the Mavericks, I think, are going to be well. So, they're probably going to be in the lower half making the playoffs. So you probably get it in the 20-ish, where in the NBA, that's really not going to get you a top level player. It's going to get you a nice role player. So, now if you're talking about like a Detroit pick, that's going to be top 10. You're not going to get that. Sorry. And even the next year, you're still not going to get it. So that's why and those picks are going to turn into second round draft picks, which the Knicks have a plethora of. So it's a catch 22, and these teams know it. So you also can say, well, look, this situation is I might not be able to get it, so it's going to turn into a second round. So you need to give me more value just in case of that. So it's a catch 22. The Knicks, everyone talked about the draft picks. It's good to have all these draft picks. Maybe you can ante up, but you're not going to get the superstar that you need. And you have to win, and maybe a superstar will come and want to come as a free agent as opposed to a trade. That's the only way I really see the Knicks getting a superstar if they want to come here and the Knicks continue. The team now after next year, Donovan Mitchell comes off the books. That's a different story. But he also can sit here and say he wants to go play for the Nets. And you can put him in that net system. And either one of the teams, that would be a great closer, because I believe it's next year after 24 that he's a free agent. He's not. They said
the Nets
Cleveland
would be
said,
developed by then. Yeah, we'd be in pretty good shape.
oh yeah, but again, if he says he comes to you and says he wants to play for you guys, you don't think that you guys would ante up the money depending on what it is?
Yeah, if it's just money, hell yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
my point. He's a free agent. He's
picks.
not. Yeah, that's why I said his money comes off the books.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a free agent. So because remember, he's not re-signing with Cleveland. Cleveland wants to sign him now, and he's like, no. So you
want to re-sign with Cleveland? I don't know.
Depending on right now, projections are they're the third or 14th best team in the East. So right now, if you're playing,
really,
there, yep,
yeah.
yep. I saw on Twitter or X, whatever.
They're not better than Miami.
Yes, they are.
What's good, bro? What's good, Lou?
What's up, Lou?
You think the Cavs is better than Miami?
Yes. Miami lost too much.
Not you.
Miami lost too much. Other than Bam and Jimmy Butler, what else do they have on the? Kyle Lowry is their starting point guard right now.
Hey, Coach.
Yeah, what's up, Lou?
Congratulations, man.
Oh, Lou, that's old. That's my first granddaughter, man.
Oh shit.
I've always had that picture. It's just that I just changed my whatchamacallit. That's why I said no matter how old she gets, she's always my baby.
Oh man, I thought that was a new grandbaby. I love.
No. Now my daughters don't they don't play. They're not ready. My two younger ones are not ready to have children, and my oldest is more focused on her career and taking care of my taking care of Skylar. So, but I appreciate that. Thank you. But
Oh,
and I'm sorry for the confusion. No, that's
I was like, oh shit, Coach Granddaddy.
no. I mean, I am a grandfather, but no, that's just when she was first born, 8 years ago. So it's
Oh,
just I love my baby. She's always going to be my baby, and I just wanted to. I do that from time to time. I put her picture up, so because that's my heart. So and anyone knows me knows that.
understood. Okay, I thought a congratulations was in order. I done poured me a
No,
shot. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
no, I mean you enjoy it. I mean
I sure will, don't you worry.
yeah. So
He said,
but
"Don't you worry, I ain't wasting
yeah.
this one."
NYG,
Yeah,
listen,
what's up, man?
we are now fully prepared for this road trip and the documentary process.
Okay,
The new R10.
Kenan.
I can actually plug my mic in now. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay.
we good now.
Okay, I have my camera. You got your camera, man. We're gonna get to work.
No.
For real.
Wales' wife is a videographer. So I'm gonna hand her this one while I have this one. And we're gonna get some behind the scenes B-roll and all that. We're gonna be good.
Yeah, no question, man. In the event Lou is talking
We might shoot the
real
Big Blue
quick.
Crew intro video song with all of us spitting bars. You know what I'm saying? I might have to
I like that idea. I like that idea. I write my own, man. I write some bars for you, son.
I know Brooklyn gonna represent, but I'm just
Yeah, I already know.
not everybody got that flavor, so I might have to write 4 or 5 bars for a few people. I ain't got no problem ghostwriting, fam. You know what I'm saying? I just can't spit nothing that I didn't write, but I ain't got no problem.
Yeah. Facts, and that's how I am, man. But Big Blue Crew block party, man. Be there, be square, man. You already know, man. October 29th, we have drink, food, music, and apparently we're gonna have some freestyle going on.
Hold on.
Giving you everything, man. Giving you the whole nine.
The caterer backed out at the last minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have some.
We will have will be for us. But nobody coming up there thinking you get no free plate of food or nothing from us. We're already giving you free content.
This flyer doesn't say anything about free. It says we'll have drinks.
Okay.
I used to.
You gotta explain that because people will show up cursing you out, thinking they'll get something free.
Nah, man. For the people that's showing up, man, for the crew, man, you know who we talking about. That's what we're talking about, man. So, the people that's showing up with the Big Blue Crew for this event, we'll have drinks, food, music, so on and so forth. Anybody that's booking with Go Travels for this event, I will personally make sure you eat and have food and music and accommodations. That's what we do.
Everybody in the Big Blue Crew Sports Network is gonna be fed. Don't worry about that.
I'm not talking about no random people that didn't book and go to getouttravels.com and book this trip. Then I can't help you. But if you did that, then you definitely will be taken care of. So that's my little promo, man. But what's good with you, man? Well, I got you here, man. What's your thoughts on this bum ass Giants team?
Hey, sir. Hey. First of all, you're lucky I got the wrong shirt on right now. I would point to the word believe.
I'm keeping it a buck with you. These dudes piss me off.
They piss me off too. My honest opinion.
Yeah.
My honest opinion is we have way too many young, talented guys for this offensive line to be this poor. At this point, you can't look anywhere else but Bobby Johnson.
I could look somewhere else.
When you got 5 linemen and none of them could pick up a stunt or a twist, that's coaching. You can't tell me that all of these guys that came from different schools all can't do the same thing. That's coaching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mike Kafka, your play calling is beyond suspect at this point. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, the players have to take responsibility too, because they're the ones out there. The coach's job is to put you in position to win, to succeed. The player's job is to execute that when he's put in that position. So it goes hand in hand. You got some poor coaching going on. You got some poor effort going on by the players, and something is up with this culture. This is not the same team we watched last year. Last year, we watched these guys fight back, battle tooth and nail, no matter what the circumstance. These last 2 games, I've watched these guys give up.
Bold. They mailing it in. That's exactly what I said, man. And that's strictly on Dable and Kafka and that offense and that staff over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Either way you want to slice it, it's on them.
There was a few times where you had Kayvon standing up instead of with his finger in his dirt. You know what I'm saying? There was a few times where we saw the defense not giving much of an effort. You know what I mean? That play where McKinney messed up and left.
McKinney, man. I've been telling you guys about McKinney.
McKinney was supposed to bracket old boy, and they had Hawkins on him, and McKinney was supposed to bracket over the top. McKinney blew the assignment, and it was a free touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So it's you know, as we all know, football is the ultimate team sport. So while we would all like to blame one guy, it's multiple failures causing the chain of events. You know what I'm saying? Coach knows this. If one thing goes wrong on that play, the whole damn play is out of order. One person misses his assignment or he's in the wrong place, everything is gone.
Man always told me, Lou, the fish rises from the head, pause. And it starts at the top. And I'm pointing the finger at freaking Murray, Shane, Dable, and the whole coaching staff. Forget measly offensive line coach. His offensive line been bad for years before Bobby Johnson got here. So I understand it's easy to point the finger at Bobby Johnson.
Shane
but
definitely has some fault because you wanted to get the receiver, you wanted to get, the names, and you kind of just grabbed what you could at the offensive line, with the exception of JMS. We all know JMS is a solid center. He's injured right now because of the poor play calling, but we all know he's a solid center. We have a solid left tackle in Andrew Thomas. You guys know in the offseason I was screaming at Kemaquanu. I said I didn't want Neil. He stepped back too far and then leaned forward. I said that when we were talking about mock drafts. I said that about this guy. But we drafted him. I got behind him. He wears that NY logo. I'm going to cheer for you until you give me a reason to hate you. You know what I'm saying? So, but, yeah, man, Shane dropped the ball with the offensive line so far. Wink has dropped the ball with too many blitz packages. Kafka has dropped the ball with poor play calling. Dave has dropped the ball by not taking charge of the situation and correcting it. And the players have dropped the ball by not giving it their all. So there's enough blame to go around. And Mara has dropped the ball by just being Mara.
He definitely has. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I said it earlier. I think it's sabotage, but that's my unpopular opinion. I think it's something going on in this organization to where they feel like that it's better for them to be bad because they're not going to be good and they don't want to be middle of the pack. And it tells in the way they call plays. It tells in the way they treat their $160 million quarterback that they paid and leaving him out there to get demolished on play after play after play, even when the games are out of reach.
No, now the reason
it's fishy.
The reason I'm gonna disagree with you there.
That's fine.
Is because we watched this quarterback come back 6 times last year and win us games. We watched this quarterback come back from a 28-7 deficit in a half. So when you know he has them comeback capabilities, you want to keep him in there and see if he can come back and win. So I understand the amount of time that they left him in there because they're looking for that fourth quarter comeback, which he's known for. You have to factor that into the thinking process of why he was still out there. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a guy who's known to bring you back from games that seem like they're out of reach.
You have to, okay, two things. First, you got to say the player from himself. And second, you got to have a feel for the flow of the game. You know good and well you was not coming back against them Dallas Cowboys in that game one of that season. I don't give a damn how many fourth quarter comebacks Daniel Jones had. They was all over that dude, pause, in that game. It was not happening. So I'm not giving that excuse. In Arizona game, yeah. In the Seattle game, maybe. But in that game and in that 49ers game, it wasn't coming back.
We was close.
It wasn't coming back.
We put up more of a fight than Dallas did last night.
Well, yeah, in the 49ers game, but in the Seahawks game, you wasn't coming back in that game.
We got that was.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, in 49ers game, I can understand. But in those two games, and then in this last game, it's like, why is he still out there? And I don't agree with that, man. And it just pisses me off because I feel like the Giants went ahead and gave in to Mara and this fan base and brought back Daniel Jones. And I just don't believe these coaches believe in him. And you got dude over there throwing tablets at the man and like, come on, bro. Like, I don't.
Tablet at him, NYG. He threw it in his vicinity, but
he threw it. He wanted to throw it at him, but he didn't throw it at him, bro.
I'm going to say one thing too, NYG. Okay? And it's not right.
What's
it's
good,
not
Raphael?
right. It's all right. It's not right, but I've thrown clipboards at players. I have. Yeah. I've been pissed off. I always say this: if I get upset with you, it's because I believe in you. It's when you messed up. If you messed up and you come in and I don't say nothing to you, it's a problem. I've thrown it. So in terms like people blow that all up and why did he throw it?
You're not giving me your all.
Yep. It's like better. We've been through this. We've been through the meetings. We talked about this. Why are you not picking this up? You know this. So yes, it's just like a parent who gets mad at a kid who comes home with a D, and you know your damn kid is A material, but you giving me a D? You're not going to yell at them and get on them? I get it. Yeah. I get it. It's the optics. I get it. It was on TV. See, that's the thing. It was caught on TV.
It's not, to me, it's not about that, Coach. It's about the lead up. All the evidence I'm giving you from them not picking up the option, from the way they've kind of been like soft spoken about Daniel Jones not really committing to this dude, and then finally giving him a contract, and then even going back to that first year where they sabotaged him on purpose in the preseason by allowing the defense to get the jump on him and to seeing how he would react.
You do that. I've done that.
I understand that from a coaching standpoint. But this is New York City. I'm not about playing no games with these players, man. Either you ride with this dude or you not. They flip-flopping.
You have to. Man. In that regard, when you're talking about the preseason, you said they're sabotaging him. I'm saying to you, no, you're testing his mental fortitude. That's what you're doing. Now you're talking about because you said everything.
So do you need to do that to test somebody's mental fortitude?
In the heat of a moment, yes. When you don't know him and you're brand new.
What you guys are telling me is they treating Daniel Jones like a baby, like a kid. This dude's
a grown man
in the fifth year in the NFL.
That's not
Why are you doing this?
NYG. In football,
I don't get it.
You in football, that's you testing. I understand what you're saying, but see, that's the problem. That's not babying him. That's pushing him. That's saying, do you have what it takes to really, because now it changes the whole dynamic. But they came into the, you're saying last year in the preseason, in the first series of practice, they're sabotaging him. No, you're coming in because you really don't know what.
That was the reports. That was the reports that That was
You want to see what he can do under pressure. You want to see how he's
Exactly.
going to
That's what
respond
it is.
when he's got to think on his feet. When the play collapses, what are you going to get
It's
out of
gonna
him?
do. Exactly.
and I think that's where the frustration is this year. Because they seen that
Yes.
last year, and then this year
Yes.
there is a regression back to the means.
Which
And
goes back
so
to Dable throwing the tablet at him, which is saying, I know you know better. We tested you last year. We went through all this. We go through the film work. We talk about it. We have meetings. You sit down. You come in. You break stuff down. You talk to everyone. You get on the same page, and then you go out there and you're panicking because you're getting smacked around. That's the bottom line. That's
Yep.
an issue. As a coach, I have a problem with that. I do, because I'm like, yo, you're better than this. And even DJ said it, he doesn't have a problem with it. So if he's telling you he doesn't have a problem with it because he knows he needs that, I'm telling you from a player, I want a coach to chew my ass out when I mess up because you're going to piss me off and you're going to push me. When I first played college ball and I went out, never played high school, never played youth football. Went and played college football for the first time. My first week, I'm calling home. My dad gets on the phone. Oh, are you calling home because you're ready to quit and come home? What? That's my father. That's my father. Guess what it forced me to do? I ended up doing well, got my varsity letter, was second team all freshman. So I get what you're saying, but sometimes you gotta kick somebody in the
People learn
butt
different.
to
Everybody,
to to play. I
people,
get it. I get it. I get where you're coming from. But that's how it is in football. Football is the ultimate test of macho. That's really what it boils down to.
yeah.
Sorry. And you don't like the
I agree.
game.
I know. I agree with your football knowledge and acumen, coach. I will never challenge you on that. I'm saying there's something funky going on behind the scenes in the organization. On the
We
field,
talked
I
about
totally
that.
agree what you're saying.
That part,
You know what
yeah.
I'm
And
saying?
see, that's the thing. That's the thing. We're
But
talking
I
about
think
two
it's something.
different
I think
things.
it's an organizational thing. On the field, I totally agree with you. I'm not going to challenge your football expertise at all. You know what I'm saying? But behind the scenes, I think there's something in the back of those guys' mind, and
That's
and
fair.
maybe in the locker room a little bit. And these guys are professionals. They're not going to go out there and throw Daniel Jones under the bus, so on and so forth. I just
Exactly.
think that is something in the back of their mind where they're like, look, we can't build an offensive line. It's been 10, 12 years. We can't do it. We just got to find somebody that can work around it. And they want Daniel
Breezy.
to do that. And that's I mean, it's piss poor thinking. It is, but that's what some of these teams are trying to do, man. That's all I'm saying. And I think the Giants are falling into that category because of who these guys are, where they came from, coming over from Buffalo and Kansas City, because that's what they do over
Yeah.
there. They play
Yeah.
backyard
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ralph. You
K1G,
say?
yes.
Mhm.
K1G, I
What's
gotta
up, bro?
tell you about for the Giants. I mean, for the case of
Goose.
Daniel Jones, I mean, he spent the most of the time in the field at the center collapsing pocket.
What's
I
good,
mean,
Big
he
Pat?
was
What up, bro?
forced. I mean, he
Yeah.
was forced to make quicker decisions than the play designs allowed. And for the rest of the time for the field, he spent him running his life. I mean, he was being set for a tonnage like 28 times that season in just like 5 games. 5 games included like 16 times in the last 2 games. Also, that's why the Giants offense is averaging 4 games. So that was like a hardly shock when Jones left the Giants for a loss from the Miami. I mean, the only surprising thing is that it didn't happen sooner. And for the coach Ryan Dubal, they say he's very optimistic that Jones won't name missing any games. But it should be not surprising that Jones only threw for like more than 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he was already done because what do we expect about for the defenders getting him as almost as quickly as the balls after get snapped? Because what do you do about the fact that every game that some miscommunication that leaves right tackle, even Neil, Steven is standing as air rush flyers for him. I mean, what can you do about the first decision that Jones has to make on every play, has to make every figure it out what pass rusher goes for him? I mean, when you see that Brian DeBall is say affecting the quarterback plays important role in the game, they had to figure it out to protect him better. It's not that Jones
Yeah,
can take it.
I get that. I get that Jones is getting sacked. I understand that. And he's under pressure. And
Are you
Yeah.
under
that
Malik
further
train again, sir?
makes me believe that the fix is in. Because why again? If you know this line is that bad, first of all, why is the line playing that bad? We could talk about Bobby Johnson all we want to. Where the hell is Brian Dable? You know, hey, look, all we say about Joe Judge, at least dude stepped in and is like, look, this offensive line coach ain't getting the job done. Get him out of here. And I'm taking over the offensive line.
I mean,
Now,
he's
I would
proving
give Joe
himself.
Judge that, but I can't give Brian Dable that credit. If this line is so bad, everybody can see it. He can see it. These coaches ain't dumb. And that's what pisses me off when people's like, oh, the coaches just don't know what they're doing. These motherfuckers ain't dumb.
Yeah,
Get out of here. They're not stupid.
Yeah.
and look,
They won the coach of the year last year. Come on.
Yeah, and look, he has taken a beating for over the years, and he showed up for the last year, has the skills to try. He was carrying up with it to the players, just paying for playing everything behind the offensive line, the average, the best, several levels above for the year's group. I mean, that year got more weapons around him, but the line has regressed very badly. It was bad for the beginning.
Hold up, Rafi. The line regressed. And Andrew, and forget the injuries for a minute because we've seen this full offensive line, 2 full games. Andrew Thomas, all-pro left tackle. Ben Bredesen, supposed to be his running mate, played pretty decent last year. John Michael Smits is a rookie, but he's one of those pro-ready rookies, and he has been played well in his limited time. Now, say what you want about Glowinski and Neal on the right side. I get that. But they were there last year, and you worked around it. So to tell me this year, we can't do anything now. I'm not buying this Giants bullshit no more, man. I'm sick of people making excuses and offensive line. This fix is in, bro. They are tanking. And I said it.
You believe that? I disagree with you.
Yeah.
We just have to agree to disagree.
That's fine. Popular opinion sports, y'all hit that like button.
In professional sports, in the NBA, in the NFL, I don't agree.
No way the Giants just got that bad. They're not competitive.
When you lose,
despite adding talent, how do you go backwards to not even being a competent NFL team?
Hold on.
Confidence.
I'm so sick of this team, man.
Hold on.
Confidence.
NYG, hold on. I'm about to answer that question. How do you go? You said they added talent and they regressed. How does that happen? We've seen Super Bowl teams win the Super Bowl and have the same roster, and then the next year be 4-12. We've seen it happen with the same guys and even add talent.
I understand regression, Lou, but it's this type of regression. It's the way it looks. It's these guys aren't trying. They're not. And that's what's got me upset. I understand what all you guys are saying. And yeah, there are lots of problems with this New York Giants team. But what I'm saying is the regression shouldn't be this bad. This is they're ranked 32nd right now, literally. They're the worst team in football.
Yeah.
I'm not buying it, man.
All that is bad, but the actual play is worse. Even Neal is the 7th overall pick, has been atrocious because whatever he likes, because right now he had 2 false starts and holding a penalty in the same series before getting bid for the sack that knocked out the Jones.
And you know what? Good point, Rafi. Coach, you're a coach. Mm-hmm. If Neal's playing that bad and he's dogging it out there like we're looking at, what are you doing? What are you going to do to Evan Neal?
It's not much you can do to Evan Neal right now. You have to try and keep
fat ass on the bench. That's what I'm doing. You a coach. If you a tough coach like I know you are, you're going to put that dude on the bench. I don't give a damn what pick he is.
Here's
getting your quarterback killed out there.
But here's the bad thing with Evan Neal. See, everyone
That's
talks
what I'm
about his
saying.
play,
It's funny, man.
and it's this and
Let
that.
me
And I
calm
get
down.
where you're going. No, I get where you're going with your conspiracy theory. I get it. What I'm saying is,
A
for
lot of
number one, you
evidence to
said
back it up.
how are they this bad? Number one, first and foremost, football is about confidence. It's about confidence, believing in your
That's true.
talents and believing in your abilities. Evan Neal is shot confidence wise. I just told you
But
about
he
Josh
doesn't need to be
Azudu.
playing. He
I
does not
just
need to
told you
be
about
playing if
Josh
he's that
Azudu
bad.
in the locker room crying. I told you that after a game.
He don't need to be
You don't
playing either
see,
then.
and you need to work on building their confidence. That's one of the things that I believe about Evan Neal. In some of it also, to be brutally honest, I'm sorry, Evan Neal, because he would hate me as a coach, because I would tell him point blank, "What are you, a dumb fuck or something?" Because you the dumbest son of a bitch I've ever seen. Where to be honest with you, you kick out, you take a half a step to your responsibility, but because you see a linebacker coming into the gap and you have a right guard there, that's his job. Bill Belichick says it perfectly. Do your job. Your job on a 5-on-5 was the edge. Was the edge. You start that way and then you drop down to pick up the inside linebacker. You the dumbest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life when it
People had
comes
the
to
nerve
playing
to
football.
attack the fans, man. Like that dude, bro.
That's my thing with Evan Neal. Now, there's some confidence. You know, he's worrying about getting beat. He's worrying about getting beat instead of, you know what, I get beat. Let me break down what I did wrong so I can come back and improve. That's what you're supposed to do. You're in the NFL for a reason. You have talent. I've been saying it for the longest while. The kid has talent, but for some reason, he plays stupid in my eyes. He plays stupid, and that's all I can say with him. He's the dumbest son of a bitch I've ever seen in my life.
He need to be on the
And
bench then.
I
At
won't
right
argue
guard.
with that.
And I don't care if it's the
no.
middle of the season. If the Giants lose next week to Buffalo, they need to start making that change right now and just evaluate this season and evaluate your talent. For real, a win against Buffalo puts them back in you know in playoff contention. I guess it gets, but if 1-5, yeah. Pack it up, fellas. It's a done deal. Now, just want to talk about the Jets real quick, and then we're gonna get in the coach's corner, and I'm gonna get on up out of here.
Yeah, and before I leave right now, I just wanted to say
Go
the
ahead,
last
Rafi.
thoughts about, because maybe those changes that are about for the Giants will help, but at that point there's no magic moves to be made, and the line is just very bad, and so many bad because they already destroyed the
How's the
Giants
Raiders
season.
line? Is it any good?
Well, kind of, because right now they have to
You
do
think
face on
so?
defense. Yeah, because right now they
All
just
right.
got Amir Robertson with that catch.
Good win though. Good win by the Raiders against the Packers.
Yeah,
Actually helps the Giants
yeah,
out because the Packers were one of the teams that they're competing for.
yeah.
But I don't see this team competing for anything right now, so it's kind of a moot point. But good win by the Raiders.
Yeah, but I will tell you for this because there is a time for any team to rebuild about that. And I just wanted to say much love and respect for all these content creators of Coach Ed, Unpopular Opinion Sports, and Big Brother Lou. And I gotta tell you, Big Brother Lou, I know you're a fan of Misha Martial Arts, so there's breaking news. No Charles Oliveira in the fight because it's gonna be a rematch between Alexander Volkanovski versus Islam Makhachev 10 days ahead.
All right. Thanks
He
for the
might have
update.
stepped away.
Yep, and of
Um,
course, have a good one, folks. And I hope
salute.
Giants could win this. It's not gonna be easy at all. It's not gonna be easy at all. So much love to everybody else. Have a good one.
All right, Rafi, man. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night, bro. Um, yeah, it's tough, man. Sometimes, coach, man. This
Mhm.
team,
I
this
get it.
team is so freaking like, come on, man. Y'all gotta look like this. Anyway, Jets, man. Little positivity in New York football. Jets beat the Broncos, man. Shout out to the Jets, man, because Sean Peyton took that talk against the Jets and Hackett, their offensive coordinator, you know, without Aaron Rodgers, still beat the Broncos, who, I mean, we could talk about the Giants being bad, but yeah. Giants, Broncos. I'm picking the Giants. The Broncos are terrible. And Sean Peyton, Russell Wilson, I don't think that's going to work out. So I'm pretty sure the Broncos are in that tank mode that nobody wants to talk about. But NFL teams are doing it. I promise you that. Our athletes, no, coach. You know, or most coaches, no. You know, but I guarantee you NFL owners are doing it. That's why they had the hush on Flores. But anyway, just beat the Broncos and yeah. Shout out to Breece Hall, man. Had him on my fantasy squad, did pretty well. But in all honesty, this kid's a star, man. Breece Hall, man, coming back off an injury, man. Breece Hall, 177 yards rushing, 22 carries, a touchdown. I mean, he pretty much willed that win for the Jets. The Jets had forced 3 turnovers as well. On the Broncos, fumbles, you name it, man. The Broncos just can't get out their own way. But Zach Wilson, he played well enough, I guess, not to lose the game for the Jets. But this Jets defense is really the telltale, man. I mean, yeah, people are right about the Jets defense. They're definitely a top 5 unit. And they get after it, man. And they can force turnovers, you know, and they're going to keep the Jets in games, you know, as long as their quarterback doesn't lose it. So shout out to the Jets for going out there and being competitive, at least. But Coach, I don't know if you watched the game or if you watched the highlights or anything, man, but what were your thoughts about the Jets, man, beating the Broncos? What's good, Kev? What's good? Salute, bro.
I mean, I didn't see any games this weekend, to be honest with you. So, but everything that I've heard, and you know, Wilson didn't do the things that would put them in harm's way to lose the game. You know, Breece Hall, like you said, was productive. You know, offensively, you know, they did a little bit more than what they normally do. But then again, like you said, you're playing Denver. You know, so Denver is not a good team. So, you know, you need to see that. Where was this the week before against New England? You know, because, you know, New England is in their head. So, but, you know, they did what they needed to do. They wanted to exact revenge against Denver because of Sean Peyton. So there was that little extra motivation. So I get it. I understand. Good win for them. You know, any win in the NFL, no matter who it is, you know, an elite team or a bottom feeder is still a good thing. So you have to celebrate and respect that. The Jets are, you know, not the worst football team in the New York City area. We all know that. So, you know, live it up, enjoy it for what it is, and then next week you line back up and let's see what you could do next week.
Yeah, the Jets. For the record, they played the Chiefs last week, not the Patriots. The Patriots was the week before, but next week they got
sorry.
Yeah, nah, you good. Next week they got the Eagles. So
exactly,
you better bring it against Philly. You know what I'm saying? But I think their defense can hang in there. But offensively, unless they can keep that running game going. But yeah, you was getting ready to say, Because I was gonna say
No, I was just saying. And plus, you lost against that Eagles defense. You lost your best offensive lineman. So
yeah.
I mean, and you're gonna have to probably put out Max Mitchell. Max Mitchell. Like we talk
Good
about
luck.
Evan Neal. We talk about Evan Neal. I'm sorry. I'll even back off of Evan Neal when it comes to Max Mitchell. Max
He
Mitchell
can't be
can't
that
even
bad.
he can't even scratch his jock. That's how terrible
Oh
he is.
man.
Go ask Alex and Luca and Mad John. I did a breakdown on Max Mitchell for them. They will tell
Ooh.
you Max Mitchell is atrocious, man. Atrocious. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. He does not belong in the NFL as an offensive lineman. Evan Neal,
Damn,
we've even
man.
talked about moving him to guard at least. Because the consensus is maybe he'll be better as a guard. I'll allow Eric Flowers, so I get it. But Max Mitchell,
So
no,
there ain't no saving Max
mm-mm,
Mitchell, huh?
mm-mm, mm-mm, no,
Yeah, can't move him to guard. Can't move him to center.
mm,
Need to move him off the
no,
team.
yes, no,
Oh
and
man.
you're going up against the Eagles, so we'll see next week. So, but good luck to them. Hopefully, they don't get Zach Wilson killed. Maybe they can get their run game going and continue, and get some traction and control the clock that way. Now maybe if they can do that against the Eagles, they'll have a chance because the defense will keep them in it. So, and if the defense can create turnovers and keep them on a short field, that would
Yeah.
be a great thing too. So, we'll see.
Yeah, because they got to be able to run the football against Philly, man. To be in that game, man, and it's the same thing with the Giants, man. You playing Buffalo. I mean, if you want any semblance of winning that game, it's got to be the same formula that you try to execute against Miami, and that's ball control, and hope to get some big plays from your defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I I mean, it's just really hard for me to be positive about the New York Giants right now. Honestly, guys, it's just uh, this team is so disappointing. Like I don't think I've ever been this disappointed by just given the expectations that the organization set. Talking about we think we closed the gap and all this other shit, man. Like you guys just go out there and lay a dud, man, every week. So until they prove that they cannot do that and they actually come out there and show some fight and competitiveness, I'm not expecting no more victories, man. To be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I feel about the Giants. People can say what they want to say about it. That's cool. Unpopular opinion sports, man. Love it or hate it, we here. But we're gonna get into coach's corner, man. Coach, man, definitely want to hear your thoughts on the Liberty, man. Liberty, man, one of New York's only positive teams, you know what I'm saying? But they are in a dog fight right now with the Las Vegas Aces, man. But like we always do, at the end of every show, let's get in the coach's corner, man. Let coach drop that knowledge on you.
No, I appreciate that. Make it as quick as possible. It wasn't a good weekend, in the heart of the city for not just the NFL, but even in college and in the WNBA. And Syracuse, they took a massive L to UNC down in Chapel Hill, 40-7. Um, Offensively, they were just totally controlled. I mean, they had 129 yards of total passing offense, 92 yards of total rushing, while UNC had 442 yards of passing and 202 yards of rushing. This was a total domination, man. There's really not much you can really say about it. There is rumors that the hot seat is getting there for Dino Babers. it happens every year, and a lot of fans in the Syracuse area are not happy. And he's really going to have to close out the season well and do better than what he has done overall. I mean, right now he's 0-2 in conference and 4-2 on the season. Next week he now has to go down to play Florida State. So it's going to be a gruesome one. Now he does close
Yeah.
out against Virginia Tech, BC, Pitt, Georgia Tech, and Wake Forest, and those are all winnable games. But the concern is he does this every year in Coach Babers, where you'll start out fast, and then when you play with the big boys, you get totally clobbered, and then you'll end up as a 500 team making a bowl game, and they're tired of it. So we'll see what happens. But this past weekend wasn't good for Syracuse. For Rutgers also was not a good one. They weren't totally dominated, but they lost in Wisconsin to the Badgers 24-13. Now they started out very slow. They had opportunities, but they could not really produce. I mean, the defense for the most part wore down, but they were keeping them in the game. This game was 3-0 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, right before the half, it was 10-0, and Rutgers was at about the 6-yard line, I believe, and they were setting up for a pass that they've been successful on all season long, and Gavin Wimsatt did not read the defense right, and the defender jumped in front of a pass and returned it 97 yards for a touchdown, and They went into the half 17-0. Now Rutgers did score a touchdown in the third quarter to make it 17-6, but Wisconsin eventually went down in the fourth quarter and scored another touchdown before Rutgers closed out the game with another touchdown to make it 24-13. Now, if Rutgers had scored, and that interception was the turning point of the game, to be honest with you, if Rutgers had at least scored a touchdown, but if not kicked a field goal, they kick a field goal, it would have went at halftime down 10-3, and they got the ball to start the second half. So it would have put them in perfect position to stay in the game. So they were in this game for the most part. It was just really that interception more than anything was the turning point in a close game. And this is a close game, no matter what the score says. This was definitely a close game for the two teams. It's just Rutgers did not capitalize on their opportunities early in the game to put up points, and that pick six was a big, big bruising point. In terms of total yards, Gavin Wimsatt was 16-35, 181 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Evan Simon came in because there was a question about a targeting play where Wimsatt was knocked unconscious, and they came back and everyone said the same thing, even the commentators. That was a targeting play, but they said it was no targeting. But Evan Simon came in and drove them down actually for their first touchdown in the third quarter. He went 2 or 3 for 30 yards and one touchdown. So overall, they were 18-38, 211 yards. But the issue was the run game. They did not do well running. They were 22 carries for 64 yards, which is not their type of Russian protocol. Now, Wisconsin's starting quarterback, Tanner Mordecai, 17-31, 145 yards, one touchdown. But they totally dominated Rutgers in this regard. They had 46 carries for 213 yards, only one touchdown. But that's the reason why, because the Rutgers offense did not put up points. And if they had to put up points, especially early in the first half, they would have forced Wisconsin to be more pass heavy as opposed to run heavy. Braylon Allen for Wisconsin, 21 carries, 101 yards, one touchdown. Kid is a big dude. I mean, he's like 6'2", 240 pounds, can move, and he's definitely a good back. He's going to be a good NFL back when the opportune time comes. So tough one for Rutgers. They're 4-2 overall, 1-2 in conference, And this week they host for homecoming Michigan State. So it's an opportune time. Michigan State is in total disarray, especially with what's happening with
Michigan State ain't good this year.
no. They ended up firing their coach because of sexual misconduct, and it's a total issue. There's concerns that they're going to lose players now because they fired their head coach, and the players have 30 days to transfer out. And so far, I think they've lost 4 players, but there's talk that they might lose another 25 or 30 guys. So this is an opportune time right now for Rutgers. Michigan State, hold on. I lost it. Hold on, let me find their. Oh. Michigan State is 0-2 in conference and 2-3 on the season. So they're in last place in the East. So, and just to give you a little insight into Michigan State, they beat Central Michigan 31-7, Richmond 45-14 before they lost their head coach. And then they went to Washington. They hosted Washington and lost to Washington, who's number 8 in the country, 41-7. They lost to Maryland 31-9. Then they just lost to Iowa, 26-16. Now that was a little closer, but Iowa doesn't have that great of an offense. So that's why it's a concern. It would be a concern that you give up 26 points to Iowa, because Iowa's offense, I'm telling you, is atrocious. So, but it's an opportune time for Rutgers with this game and the week after that, because they then go to Indiana. If they win these 2 games, they will be bowl eligible, and that's all most Rutgers fans are looking for. They at least want them to be bowl eligible. And to close out, they go Michigan State, Indiana, host Ohio State, at Iowa, at Penn State, and then host Maryland. So that's why those 2 games are a must. And then if they do get those in, there could be the possibility, depending on what happens with Iowa, that they could possibly get the Iowa game if their defense can play up to task. But worst case scenario, if they get those 2 games, they'll be 6-6 and they'll be bowl eligible. And most projections have them going to the Pinstripe Bowl, which is played at Yankee Stadium. So moving on to one other thing right now, they did have the Big Ten Media Day for basketball, men's and women. I really haven't dove into it, but I heard that Peichel really sold the program. A lot of people are hyped up about him. Early projections in terms of standing has Rutgers to be 10th in the Big Ten, and that's all Peichel needs because he loves being the underdog. So I haven't gotten the rankings in terms of the women's cycle as yet. So we'll see how the women hopefully turn out. So, but again, today was media day, so I didn't really get a chance to dive into it. So hopefully I can, if I have the time, I'll be able to look into it a little bit later. Now going into the WNBA, as we talked, Sunday was the first game of the WNBA Finals, where the Liberty took on the Las Vegas Aces out in Las Vegas. It was a pretty gutsy game initially. The Liberty were up at the halftime. Maureen Johannes was the biggest reason why. She had 14 first half points. And when I tell you she was hitting from everywhere, she was hitting her crazy one leg shots. But Las Vegas, to their credit, second half, they started blitzing her, getting the ball out of her hands. Now, that's the issue because teams know if you blitz the Liberty guards, that disrupts the offense, and it really does. Sabrina Ionescu, she only had 7 points. She was 2 of 7, 1 of 5 for 3-point for 7 points. Courtney Vandersloot was 4 of 11, 2 of 5 for 3 for 10 points. Maureen Johannes, 5 of 9, 4 of 7 for 3 for 14 points. They took her out totally in the second half. Brianna Stewart led the team with 21 points. She was 8 of 19, 1 of 4 from 3-point. And Jonquel Jones was 16 points, 7 of 12 0-3 from 3-point and 10 rebounds. I've always said that's the way that you attack most teams. You have to get Jonquel going, get her down low to attack these teams because teams will then collapse and it makes it easier. I mean, even Brenija Laney, who, prior to this, the last 3 games in the playoffs, she hit over 20 points. She had 11 points here. She was 5 of 8, but she was 0-3 from 3 points. So, it just was a tough second half for them. I mean, they lost 99-82. Kudos to Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum. They were phenomenal. Oh, and Chelsea Gray in the second half. They were phenomenal for them. Jackie Young and Kelsey Plum had 26 points apiece, and Chelsea Gray had 20. Aja Wilson had 19 points. She played very well. The funny thing is, the Aces only had 5 players score points. Kia Stokes, who starts for them, scored nothing. Alicia Clark, who comes off the bench, scored 8 points. No one else scored another point for the Aces. Everything was done primarily through their starters, which I knew that they was going to happen. What you had to do in the first half was take Chelsea Gray out, and which is what they did. But second half, they let them back in. They let Chelsea get going, and it was rough. Also, personal fouls played a factor. Jonquel and Courtney Vandersloot both had 4. Sabrina had 3. And Kayla had 3. One of the things that they also do in terms of Las Vegas, they attack Sabrina. Defensively, she's very slow-footed, and they just take her off the dribble. And it makes it very tough because now you take her offense out of the game. So, I was thinking that they would play, once they started going, they would play a little bit more zone. I mean, they did here and there, but they tried to stay true to their philosophy. And Sabrina was the one that was attacked, and she is the issue defensively. So they have to figure something out defensively to take care of it. Now, they're confident, and they play the next game tomorrow evening in Las Vegas. It will be tomorrow at 9:00. Is it going to be? I think it's on ESPN tomorrow night. So, but that's pretty much what's happened with the Liberty in terms of the championship. If they and all really, we all know in terms of championship, all you need to do is get a split. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You get a split, and then you can come back 1-1, and you play the next 2 at home, and that's really where you want to take advantage of the situation. So, and that's all I'm looking for. I'm just looking for them. If they can get game 2, then it really changes the whole tenor of everything. So, and one thing that I did not know, and I learned during the broadcast, is that Breanna Stewart has never lost in a championship game, whether in college or in the NBA. I knew in college she was 4-0 at UConn, and she has 2 in the WNBA because Seattle has gone twice while she was there. So, which I didn't know. So I was just like, wow, that's impressive as it is right there. So hopefully that can swing through for them, and we can root our liberty on, and hopefully they can get game 2, and that's really what I'm looking for. I really want to see them attack the paint a little bit more to set things up for a lot of the players, especially getting the ball into Jonquel Jones. And then I definitely need to see Courtney Vandersloot, because there was a point in time she was wide open in one situation for a 3-pointer, and she didn't. She held the ball looking for somebody to pass, and I'm like, she has to shoot that. So I'm looking for Jonquel Jones, I'm looking for Brenija, and I'm looking for Courtney Vandersloot to step up. They really have to step up their game to really help them walk away with the win. So, that's pretty much it right now in terms of Coach's Corner that I have for you.
Man, definitely appreciate that, Coach, man. Shout out to the Liberty, man. I mean, bringing some positivity to the New York sports area. And we definitely need that. We need the Liberty brand to bring this thing home, man. You know what I'm saying? Bring the
Mm-hmm.
championship to New York, man, because
Oh!
need
There
it.
was one thing. I'm sorry. There's one thing. It's not directly Liberty related, but it's an offshoot of Liberty. Shout out to Teresa Witherspoon, because I got the notification while we were on. Teresa Witherspoon, all-time great for the Liberty, is now
Mm,
the head coach of the Chicago Sky, and it's about time she got a WNBA head coaching gig. So
wow.
shout out to her. You know, hope she does well, just not against the Liberty. So sorry about that.
Awesome. Nah, I remember Teresa Witherspoon. She played on them teams with Lobo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Lobo,
remember
Vicky Johnson.
Vicky Johnson. Yup.
Yeah, so yeah, she was there. She's been there for so long. So
Absolutely, man. Shout out to her, man. Finally getting her opportunity, man. To do her thing as a head coach. So that's what's up, man. Appreciate that, coach, man. Appreciate all you guys for coming through, man. Big bro Lou, appreciate you. You already know what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? And definitely shout out to G Nation Inside Sports, man. Go check out Saturday nights, Leather to the Face, man. Dopest podcast on YouTube, man. You know, giving you all the great fight knowledge, boxing, UFC, man, and fellas cut up, man. If you like good laughs, you're definitely gonna get some over there, man. G Nation Inside Sports, man. Big Blue Crew in effect, man. Shout out to Coach Ed. You know, go check out Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports, man. The Read and React show, you already know. Putting it down, man. Podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts too, right, Coach?
yeah, he has it on
Yeah.
iHeart, Apple, Amazon, Spotify,
Mhm.
and 365 Live. Um, but to be honest, right now, I'm actually going to be taking a break right now for some personal family reasons. So I got to step back on everything right now so I can focus on family. Got to be there for my family, protect my family. So once everything gets settled, I'll be back up and running. So, but right now, I just got to take a step back, man.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. You know what I'm saying? And that being said, you know, we're gonna take a step back from Heart of the City, let Coach get his family business things in order. We do things over here as a team, and you know, I gotta have my coach, I gotta have my partner in my corner, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I roll.
Appreciate that.
That's how we roll, man. And you know, when you get in order, we're gonna be back in order, man. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
I'll still be doing content. You catch me probably gonna do the game again Sunday morning. It's gonna be Ravens, Titans. You could be
Hmm.
there. You know what I'm saying? Chop it up with us, man. And then, you know, we always talk Giants at halftime and then after the game, man, as the Giants will be taking on the Buffalo Bills this coming up Sunday. Don't know if they're going to flex the game. Looks like they're going to leave it at Sunday night. And so we'll have to witness that. But, you know, definitely, man, enjoy football, man. You know, despite the struggles of your team, enjoy football, man. And it's going to be a pleasure to watch, man. You know,
Hmm.
Baltimore and these guys play, man. You know what I'm saying? Interested to see Lamar Jackson and our old friend OBJ out there, man, if he's playing. So
Got one
definitely
more thing to
check me out there, man. Go ahead.
got one more thing to say to everyone, man. Seriously, um, yo, protect your families, man. Seriously,
Mm,
there's a lot of people out here that try to do things to, get at each of our families, thinking that it's psychologically going to take you out. But don't let no one come in and do anything to your families, man, by any means necessary. And I mean that, man. Do what you got to do for your families, man, because every last one of those buffoons, they're gonna have to face it one way or another. They're gonna face it. So just make sure y'all protect your families, your children, your parents, your siblings, your aunt, your uncles, grand. I don't care who it is.
mm,
Just protect them. Be there for them because that's what's most important. And any buffoons out there that want to keep trying to come at people because they have a difference of opinion from you, Yo, you're gonna get yours. That's a promise, man. You're gonna get yours. And you know what? It's gonna be well deserved. And I'm gonna leave it like that. So that's it, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Definitely protect your family, man. Protect your loved ones, man. You know what I'm saying? And we all a tight knit group here, man. Big Blue Crew in effect, man. So, I got your back, bro. You already know what it is, man. And
I know, I appreciate
man,
it.
just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? We keep it real over here, man. We are the heart of the city. You already know. But I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Appreciate everyone for stopping through, man. Big Pat Sports Talk in the building, man. You already know what it is. My bro, go sub to Big Pat Sports Talk, man. Giving you all that great Giants content, man. You know what I'm saying? One of the most knowledgeable people in the sports community. Big fan Breezy. You already know what it is, man. With the Brooklyn Nets, man. All that good basketball content. Big fan Breezy, man. One of my day ones, literally, man. We grew up together. Koof, man. Gaming, what's good, man? Appreciate Koof, man, coming through, man. Always supported the show. LeVance, man. Another one of my day ones, man. Been on the podcast, man, since we fired this thing up, man. Definitely appreciate you, man. All your positive energy, bro. You already know what it is. Wells, definitely check out Wells. He is one of the co-hosts of Leather to the Face with Big Bro Lou, man. Definitely, man. Wells, chop it up, man. Appreciate you coming through as always, man. Next Shift, definitely check out Next Shift Randy, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's an Eagles fan, definitely respect, man, and appreciate Next Shift, man. Always coming through for us, man. And of course, Mr. El Capitan, Raphael, man. He has his own show as well. Link in the description. Check him out. And Tudo, Big Boss Tudo, man. Appreciate you, man, as always, man. One of the main contributors, man, of this Giants community for sure. D. Dan Shelton, appreciate you coming through as always, man. D. Dan always spreading the love, man, for the Big Blue Crew, as well as my man Tommy for one Tommy, man. For real, most definitely, man. Tommy coming through, man. 12 and 13 personnel, Tommy, man. Wake these coaches up, bro. For real. Let's get it. And my man, my bro, Classified 3F with Joe. Definitely co-founder of the Big Blue Crew. Check out Classified 3F with Joe. Calling the Monday Night Football games, man. As always, man. Giving you that real spill, man. And always as funny as hell. And NFL reality check, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Anyone that I missed, apologize, man. But my time is up, man. And we're going to leave y'all, man, with the sponsor commercial, man. Of course, man. Shout out to my sponsors, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all.
Shadow Worlds Radio, a radio media outlet. The Read and Attack Show, Coach Ed's Amazing World of Sports. Go Travels, the go-to for all your sporting events. Wise Consulting Solutions, the wise choice for a better future. The Big Blue Crew, the best damn sports network on YouTube.